It's a new year, y'all. And for me, I've never been one to do resolutions. I do solutions. And for the past almost 2 years, I've been drinking AG1 every single day, thanks to my brother, Dr. Andrew Huberman, who turned me on to this incredible product. Every day, every morning, no exceptions. Just one scoop and a glass of water. They also make packs that you can travel with. That's been very, very helpful for me as a active touring person. Having these packets with me all around the world has been really, really helpful. So if you're a musician or somebody that is always on the go, the travel packs are incredible. AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, and pre and probiotics. It's very powerful, it's very healthy, and it's really simple, man. Healthy aging shouldn't feel complicated. The thought of taking multiple supplements and all these types of vitamins and stuff and powders, it's truly exhausting for me. I've never been one to take a lot of multivitamins anyway throughout my whole life. I always prided myself in just eating vegetables and eating all the stuff I need naturally, not in a pill form. So this is incredible. It covers my nutrient gaps. It supports my mental and physical health. AG1 is hassle-free, 60 seconds every morning. It's the high-quality ingredients of pre and probiotics, adaptogens and antioxidants, and whole food sourced nutrients. I drink it every single day. Every batch of AG1s goes through rigorous testing processes, and their ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. If there's one product I can suggest to you guys, is the AG1s, man. This has been a life changer for me. So go to ag1.com/OLLC and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. With AG1, I know I'm getting essential brain, gut, and immune health support, vitamins, probiotics, and nutrients for the day, and it's helped my mental and physical. So if there's one thing I can recommend to you guys, it's AG1s. It's my nutritional insurance. I pride myself as almost being 54 years old, not going to the doctor all the time. Knock on wood. I've been healthy my whole life and try to strive to be a healthy person, stay young, stay full of energy, and still do the things I love that I did as a kid. That's why I still skateboard, play music, exercise. So start the year off right. AG1, ag1.com/OLLC. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. If you want to just get Liquid Death water, go to amazon.com. But for the merchandise and other cool items, exclusive items, go to liquiddeath.com/Toby and get free shipping. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst, stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Kicking off in my kitchen.
And the kitchen is special.
Thank you, man.
The kitchen's a vibe.
This is like car paint. This is on the HDTV makeover show.
Yeah. Oh, word.
I was saying link for it, yeah. My whole entire house was redone in the show when Max was younger.
Really?
Yeah. It was called a 50s rock and
redo. Yeah,
you
candy painted everything. Candy painted the kitchen is crazy.
This came from Minnesota, actually.
Nah.
It's like one of a kind
thing.
What,
from an antique store?
No, it's like custom made shit or something. I don't know.
Oh, you went crazy.
They did, yeah.
You went crazy.
Ready to rock and roll?
Let's rock.
Fucking 69, God.
Let's rock. Run it up, freaky ass kid.
Freaky ass mod, son. 69, God. Okay. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I have a very, 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 very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Modson. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure, baby. It's been a long time coming.
I know we've been talking for so long about this, but you've been so busy.
Yeah, but things line up how they're supposed to.
Yeah. Last time I saw you was at your last show, the LA tour. That was
Nah.
I ran into you on Melrose after that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. You know what happened that day? I went and sold some shoes, and I didn't know it was a TV show being filmed at that store. I ended up being on this huge sneaker show, selling my freaking Sean Witherspoons on camera. Nobody told me I was being filmed. Sean knew I was selling them because I asked him where I could sell them, but yeah.
Which ones were they?
The Sean Witherspoons, the classic Nike ones, but I sold them there, and I'm on film, and I started getting tagged in all this shit showing me selling my shoes. It was so weird, dude. But nobody told me I was being filmed.
Oh, no. There might be a lawsuit going on.
What's even crazier is that I never wore them. They were in my closet for a year and a half, but the dude buying it from me told me they had been worn. And so I got less money than I thought I was going to get, but then all the comments were like, dude, this guy always says that to people. He's always getting over on people. So I don't know if he got over on me. I got a good amount of cash But it was a weird thing being on TV and stuff, not being told.
It's weird thinking about a dude hustling you.
I guess that's this whole vibe on the show. I don't know.
Uh,
It was weird. Then I saw you outside there. Yeah.
yeah,
I was on a bird probably.
Yeah, he was, and I was solo, just walking.
I know.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I feel like I have a light around me right now, so I'm just keeping it.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
You've been chilling. You've been off the grid. I like that.
Yeah, I went. I believe in reinvention. You know,
Yeah.
like I've studied. I studied painters at a very young age, and you know, there was a term in the world of painting that was like every 10 years you reinvent yourself. You know, so like from a young age, I always knew that my career in music was going to be about reinvention every 10 years, and then it scales down sometimes because of the times we're into like a 5-year reinvention. But you know, I just went through one of those in the last year, and I just have pure intentions with everything I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that.
yeah,
It seems to be kind of your whole kind of career, like the whole like reinventing yourself, and it works.
yeah.
It's all different parts of your life.
I think if an artist is open about that from the jump, it's able to do, you know, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look like I'm wearing costumes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Totally.
it's not like I'm wearing a costume. It's like I've been open about being like, I believe in when you want to feel a certain way or be a certain way, it's okay to change your appearance, the way you act, the things you listen to, and it's okay to change those things. So many people
Yeah.
are so stuck on I mean, the word poser has been abused, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
every single person, the first time that they do something is a poser. Right?
Totally.
Right?
100%
Every
dude.
single time. No one just grabs a skateboard and kickflips. Period. In
Holds
history.
the skateboard the wrong way.
Maybe Rodney Mullen, but but like, you know what I'm saying? So like everyone's so concerned about being like authentic and genuine. It's like
Yeah.
the first time you do anything, you're a poser, and it's
I
like
agree.
it's like you got to let go of these certain keywords in history. You know, the word jealous is like a word that's looked at like negatively, and it's like, dude, being jealous of something is not bad. Being jealous means that you hear something, see something, feel something that you want to understand, you know? And so
Yeah.
like anytime I'm around my friends, I'm like, hear a new song of theirs, I'm like, man, that shit made me jealous. And they'd be like, man, stop, you do this. And I'm like, it's not a bad thing to be jealous.
Yeah.
You know, envious.
Envious.
We could look at that one and dissect that one, but jealousy, poser, all that shit, just drop those words and feel free to adapt, you know?
Yeah. It's awesome because you started off doing all kinds of things before you doing the kind of pop punk stuff. You doing hip hop as well. I know that's another one of your influences as well, and I love that. I love like being able to be creative and do all those parts of your life, different chapters and different inspirations.
Yeah.
Not just one thing.
Yeah.
Because we're not just one thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Keep talking. I'm gonna shut this door.
a lot of yeah. There you go. You know, a lot of the hip hop influence really came from, like, I'm from Minnesota. There was a great backpack hip hop scene in Minnesota. Before that, I was playing drums in punk bands, pop punk bands, and post hardcore bands, and all sorts of stuff like that. But like, I mean, bro, I fell in love with Bob Dylan's music at a very young age. You know, he's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I grew up, you know, a couple miles from the farm that he used to have in Minnesota, or still does have.
Oh, that's sick.
And you know, when I really fell in love with Bob Dylan, and I was kind of turning over my 10 years in drums, and I wanted to become someone that said something into a microphone, I grew up with all my friends in bands around me being like, you can't sing. And I had this amazing connection with Bob Dylan because I would hear people over time always be like, he can't sing.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I've heard that too, actually.
I'm like, he's the greatest artist of all time, and you're saying he can't sing. All right, I got something in common with him. And then furthermore, when I hear like Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine, I'm on the pavement, I'm hearing a rap, right? And I think drums, rhythm, hi-hat. I'm like, okay, I got rhythm. I love words. I read poetry. I was like, I'm going to make something with rap because they're telling me I can't sing. So I'm going to make something happen with rap because you can't tell me I can't talk.
Yeah.
You know? And I love to make something my own, you know? So I did this thing for 10 years that I called hippie hop, which was just like,
Yeah, it's cool.
it was based around the law of attraction, bro. And this was a time where, you know, The Secret was a thing, but The Secret you're hearing from, and when I say The Secret to any listeners out there who have no idea what I'm talking about, The Secret is a book or a movie based on the law of attraction, which is talking about whatever you're thinking in your head, you're asking for. And I'm hearing all these things from The Secret or watching the movie, and it's all these people that are, you know, in their 50s. And at the time, I'm like this 21-year-old kid, and I was like, I want to offer this voice to a young generation. It's so much easier to relate to someone that you can see yourself in, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I did with hip hop. Is I made hippie hop, and I made this really positive manifestation rap, and it got me here.
Yeah, and it was drums first for you before all that.
Yeah, drums first.
At a super young age.
Yep.
Was your neighbor like a drummer or something?
So originally, so let's build into that. Originally, I was a athlete. You know, I grew up on a farm. My parents got divorced when I was 6. I moved from a farm to a suburb. And on the farm, I had no neighbors and no friends. And so when we moved to the suburbs, my mom was like, I got to get you adjusted to like making friends and being social. She was like, I'm going to put you in sports. If you don't like to do it, don't do it. You know, She put me in sports, and that became my thing. You know, my mom is an angel. And the second I got, you know, I played hockey first. Second I put ice skates on, got off the ice, my mom was like, you're a natural, right?
Wow.
Tip to any parents out there, tell your kids they're natural, they will believe in themselves, you know? And I could have been terrible, but my mom told me I was a natural, so I believe that.
Awesome.
Going down the line, I'm really, my first idea of life is like, I'm going to be a professional athlete, you know? I have a sister that's 3 years older than me. So at the time, I'm sitting on the couch, she's sitting on the couch, and I'm flipping back and forth between ESPN, and she's flipping back and forth to watching Hanson, the band Hanson.
Yeah.
Okay?
Bop.
And that's all it took, bro. Because I'm watching full-grown adults as a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I want to be that someday. And then she's watching kids my age.
Yeah.
Be at a professional level, playing to arenas.
It's crazy.
And that's all it took for me to be like, I see myself in them, not them. Asked for a drum set, got a drum set, sat there for a little bit, couldn't figure it out. Instruments are frustrating. You have to suck before you're good. There's no doubt about it. Poser-ism again. and all it took from that point on to light my fire was to see Travis Barker. And as soon as I saw Travis Barker, I was like, I'm a drummer. I can figure this out. I'm going to study that. My dad moved to Long Beach. His next door neighbor was the original drummer, Sublime.
That's right.
It all kind of connected.
That's crazy. That's right.
Yeah, it all kind of connected and really pushed me to like, you know, before I could even play more than 2 songs on drums, I had already started a band. I was like, again, like, just like, I jump into things. I jump off the ledge. I believe in myself. I'm like, I can do this. So, drums, you know, got me out of where I'm from.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you started playing drums when you got to Long Beach.
Yeah.
Would you saw Travis Barker like in the Blink video or something on TV or something?
Yeah, I saw Travis Barker on MTV. You know what I'm saying?
TRL
This was like 2001 type shit.
That's
and like,
crazy.
I see this dude tatted head to toe, wearing Dickies and Vans, and I'm just like, this is the coolest guy I've ever seen. And you know, within a week, all I ever wore was Famous Stars and Straps, Dickies, Vans, high socks, skateboard, played drums, loved Cadillacs. And you know what I'm saying? Like he was just my immediate hero that I saw myself in, you know? And that was all it took, was just being like, this was at the start of the internet. So this is like 56K dial-up internet. And I'm just like, downloading every Sydney's Big Day Out. Blink-182 performing at Sydney's Big Day Out was probably the year 2000, maybe 2001. I downloaded that concert, and it took me like probably a month to get the full download, because this is dial-up internet.
That's crazy.
But
dude.
you could preview how much is downloaded as it's downloading. So if I had 2 minutes downloaded, I would sit there an inch from the computer screen and study everything he's doing. Because the funny thing about drums is like, I can see everything he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, guitar, I understand guitar now, but as someone who like learns by watching, right, and not learns by the educational sense of like dissecting, I learn by seeing. And I could see what he was doing on drums, and that's how I knew it was my way out. You know,
That's crazy.
I couldn't
man.
see what the fuck they were doing with their fingers on guitar.
Yeah.
I couldn't, and still to this day, as a guitar player, I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know.
How old are you then again?
When I really dove in and quit sports and started just being a drummer, playing in bands, skateboarding, it was around 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were your parents bummed you quit sports?
My mom was very worried about me. My dad hated that I played sports my whole life. 'Cause
Okay.
my dad was a motorcycle riding, leather jacket every day, boots, listen to the Allman Brothers, listen to Bob Dylan. He was
Hard.
always like, music is your shit, right?
Yeah.
This is the lifestyle we live. My dad was a fucking hustler, bro. Like, I don't even ever know what job he had his whole life. He was a straight hustler.
Wow.
My dad was the bad boy. My mom was the cheerleader. My dad came and literally like picked my mom up on his motorcycle, threw her on the back, and was like, "You're dating me now," literally.
It's like a movie.
It was movie parents, bro, and
Damn.
yeah. So they got divorced, and I would always fight with this thing where it was like my dad was like, "Man, stop playing that fucking sports shit," and my mom was always like, "Do whatever you want,"
Yeah.
But my mom was worried when I quit because I was set up to be like a professional goalie. Like I was
That's
I was
crazy,
in
man.
Minnesota where I played at a place called Jefferson High School, and like we were where scouts from all around the country came to.
Yeah.
And I was a goalie, right? So it wasn't like me competing against a bunch of other people. It was me and one other goalie who's
Yeah.
gonna be the fucking best. And I'm always like, I'm gonna be the fucking best, right? And so I was slated to be like go to D1 college and then go pro. Like that was gonna be it.
Wow.
And I had to be like, it was one of the first biggest lessons in my life, being like, no, this is what I'm doing. You say this is like the bad kid move. Like, I'm a bad kid. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you graduate high school?
Barely.
Barely.
Very.
Did you like high school
barely.
besides playing sports? Was it like a social place for you? Did you like?
Yeah.
Other classes
Yeah, I
were
did.
good?
I did. I mean, I was always an art kid. I could do great at art class.
Yeah.
So that was great. I love words, English class, vocabulary, stuff like that was great for me because I'm obsessed with words.
Yeah.
But I was the fucking class clown, bro. Like I made friends with the hall monitors, so they would let me skip school. I skipped more of high school than I attended, that's for sure. And I was the best cheater in high school. Period.
Amazing.
Period, bro. I got by on cheating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you skateboarding then too?
Yeah.
You a
Yeah.
good skater?
Yeah. Yeah.
Street?
Yeah. Yeah. Never really a vert skater, but like nasty as street. Like frontside flip, 6 stairs, all that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I was nice. And
That's incredible.
But due to getting in a band that would eventually get signed and be touring, I mean, when I graduated high school, I had my graduation party a week after high school, and then I left for tour for an entire summer, playing shows for free, but all around the country. But like, when you become a drummer,
Was that a semester?
that was with a band called it was my first
Yeah.
big tour was with a band called the Semester. Yeah,
That's cool. That's
That's
cool name,
hard.
actually, yeah.
Hey man, H2O knows who the Semester is. I hope all you little fuckers are out there listening.
It's
right
a great name
now.
too.
Yeah, the Semester was cool, bro. My band before that even had a more rad name.
What was it called?
Sideline Heroes.
That's pretty sick too.
Sideline Heroes was
It's
hard.
pretty sick. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
name.
we were the Outcasts, bro. That was like my first high school band, and then the Semester was my second one. That was the one that was gonna take us all the way. And but what I was saying was, being a drummer, like I had to choose between drums or skating, because if you break a finger, if you break a toe, if you sprain a wrist, anything on your body, you fuck the whole band up.
Totally.
Yeah,
dude.
as a
You can't
guitar
fuck
player,
around.
you can sprain your ankle. You know what I'm
Totally.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
you got to watch your wrists and your fingers, but like, there's more limbs to watch out for as a drummer. You know?
Yeah.
So I kind of had to put skating to the side and like be careful when I skated, which sucked because I was like really good at going big on skating.
Did you want to be sponsored too as a skater? Were you thinking about that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was sponsored for a brief moment on snowboarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love snowboarding, man.
Yeah.
It's so different than skating too. People try to say it's the same. It's
Yeah,
such
and like, bro, I grew up in Minnesota where we had hills, so we
Yeah.
only had 30-second runs, but we had a tow rope down a 30-second run, and honestly, you can hit way more jump. It's crazy to think, but you can hit way more jumps in the park on a 30-second run with a tow rope than you can on an 8-minute chairlift.
interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
just
yeah.
going boom, 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 up, down,
Yeah.
you know? And so we got good. There's great snowboarders from Minnesota that went pro. Like,
that's cool.
Great snowboarders that grew up having to ride hills, not mountains.
So you could have been a pro skater, a snowboarder, probably a hockey player, but you went to music.
I went to music. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about Four Letter Lie? Was that a band? Or was that
Yeah.
another band?
That was the band after the semester. So like the semester kicked me out, broke my heart, told me I wasn't good enough.
What?
Yeah. They all entered my life later and became part of Mod Sun for a brief moment in time, and I was able to bring them back into what I was doing. But Four Letter Lie was this post-hardcore band. So the semester was a pop-punk band.
Yep.
Four Letter Lie was a post-hardcore band. We were the two bands that were like young and doing it in Minnesota. That were really like, we're about to make it out of here. Like, watch us, right?
Yeah.
And the semester kicked me out. I got super depressed. I was in my mom's garage. This was right after I graduated high school. So my whole high school was pretty much being like, I'm taking this semester all the way. You know, we would go meet with Drive Through Records, and I was the mouthpiece for this band.
Drive Through Records was a shit back
it was.
then.
I was a Drive Through kid. I was a Drive Through kid.
It was everything.
So it was my dream come true. Like going and meeting with Richard and Stephanie, who I still talk to this day.
Wow.
Who also Richard and Stephanie, especially Stephanie from Drive Through. I can't wait to send you this clip. She was the one that got me really into Bob Dylan.
Wow, that's
because Drive Through Records did a listen to Bob Dylan compilation.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
where
amazing.
All the bands. All the
Drive Starting Line, all those bands.
All of them did a Bob Dylan cover.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay, and this is like a super only on the internet. It's so hard to find, bro. But like this shit changed my whole life. But
that's
because
cool.
of that compilation that I found while I was on tour this semester, because I think I got it while I went and interned at the drive-through offices on my spring break and shit.
That's cool.
Like
Where was that located? Where were they then?
They were
out here, right?
Yeah,
in the valley or something.
Yeah.
I remember they were out there for a while.
Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks.
I think
right.
Thousand Oaks. And I would go in there and I would intern on my spring break, bro. I spent a spring break interning at Drive Through Records. My dad was looking at me like I was fucking crazy. Like,
That's
what are you doing? Because my dad lived out here. So I would be like, drive me up from Long Beach to Thousand Oaks. And he would do it, you know? But he was just like, you're a fucking weird kid, man. What are you doing? You know?
That's so cool growing up, listening to bands on that label and actually being there working behind the scenes and seeing all that stuff.
Yeah, and so I got to go through the warehouse, though, and that's where I got the Listen to Bob Dylan compilation.
Gotcha.
Shit changed my whole life, but I got kicked out of this band this semester. And I just was smoking weed and listening to Bob Dylan in my mom's garage. And the singer of Four Letter Lie called me up and was like, yo, our drummer just quit. You're like one of the nastiest drums I've ever seen. Like, I know you don't play with a double kick, but I know you can learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, join our band. Join their band. Probably spent 3 months writing new songs. Went down to play for Victory Records.
Wow.
Like an audition showcase, you know?
Wow.
Because the guitar player from Four Letter Lie, his older brother was in a band called Dead to Fall.
Okay.
Right? Super nasty metal band that was signed to Victory. They
Victory
were
was
like,
the shit back then, too. Yeah.
And they were like, yo, check out my little brother's band, blah, blah, blah. We went down for a showcase. I swear I was in this band for 3 months, wrote these new songs with them. We went down to Victory, did a showcase, left, signed by them.
Damn.
By Victory Records. And
that's
like
crazy.
From there, it was like really like we went and did 2 albums.
On.
Yeah, we went and did an album with Matt Goldman down in Atlanta. Played shows for fucking 2 years straight. Broke as fuck. $10 per diems. 15,
I remember those days.
15 passenger van.
Yes.
Sleeping on people's floor.
Yes.
Coming home from tour with maybe $100. You know what I'm saying?
Anything. Were you working when you get off tour and stuff?
Yeah, my last job I ever worked was working at Domino's, but not as a pizza driver. They let me just go and skateboard around my city, listening to music in my headphones and hang coupons on people's doors.
That's a sick job, dude.
It was a sick job, bro.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. That was my last job I ever had, and that was like
Damn.
that was when I really started putting together, because I was like I had done the Four Letter Lie thing for like 2 years. And that was when I really started putting together the Mod Sun thing, where I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to do this. In my mind at that point, I was like, how can I not split my bread with 5 people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, how can I make a solo thing work? And through that time, Four Letter Lie had opened up for a band called Scary Kids Scaring Kids.
Yeah, that's right. Okay? That's a cool name too.
Dude, the raddest name ever.
It's so wild.
Yeah. And so I ended up quitting Four Letter Lie. We were coming back. We went down to Victory. We did 2 albums of Victory. We went down to Chicago. Me and the guitar player, Kevin Scaff, who now plays in Day to Remember.
Oh, wow.
We went down there to play him some new songs. It just seemed like it was going nowhere.
Yep.
We get on a mega bus. I don't know if you know what those are.
What's a mega bus?
It's like a $5 bus that you can take from like Minneapolis to Chicago or Minneapolis to Detroit. $5. We're on this mega bus. We're coming back from Chicago back to Minneapolis, and Kevin, the guitar player, looks at me. He's like, "Hey man, I think it's time for me to quit this band." And I was like, "Bro, if you're quitting, I'm quitting." And he went on to play guitar for A Day to Remember.
Huge.
And he's still in A Day to Remember and killing it.
Wow.
And we're still friends to this day, talk all the time. And I went and started Mod Sun. Now, that band ended. You can feel free to cut me off at any time if I'm getting ahead of myself.
Great. What's interesting is that Chad, I used to own this house with, produced A Day to Remember on those Victory records.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
And I can't wait to talk some Newfound Glory stories, bro.
Yeah.
And because that band saved my fucking life. Like,
awesome.
I was even more of a Newfound Glory kid than I was a Blink kid.
Wow.
Like Blink,
Drive Through too.
Blink was all drums for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
like the like dick jokes and all that shit like was never my thing, really. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the self-titled album, like when they really started kind of like being like, we're gonna be more of a serious band, like Blink, you know, it kind of definitely like changed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
With all those songs where they were really like, where Tom was really like, all right, I want to get more serious, right? You could clearly tell Travis's influence on that album. You can clearly tell.
That's
you know
my favorite album, probably too.
Yeah. It's really front to back, like
it's like a
masterpiece.
grown-up Blink.
It is. That's when I really started coming around. But Newfound Glory was everything to me. Those songs are ingrained in my DNA. So I ended up, I quit Four Letter Lie, and again I'm like, all right, now's my time to go in just me, okay. And I somehow just keep getting pulled back to drums. Scaring Kids calls me. They're like, yo, our drummer quit. We've got these tours coming up. I was the mouthpiece for any band I was in. So like I was friends with every band in the circuit, you know? And they're like, yo, we want you to play drums for us. And I was like, the only way I will do it is if you let Mod Sun open up your tour. Okay?
Sick.
So I would go on stage for Scary Kids. And Scary Kids was big, bro. For a scene band, they were big. Yeah. So we're playing like 2,000 cap venues.
Damn.
And I would come on it was like the tour lineup was legit. I think it was Scary Kids, Scaring Kids, Pierce the Veil.
Damn.
The Sleeping, Deer Hunter, and Mod Sun. Okay?
Sick.
Insane lineup. And I would come on first to a crowd of people going to see that
hippie
music.
Hip hop too, right? Yeah. Rapping.
And I come out rapping over like Party in the USA.
That's so sick.
And bro, I swear to God, these people were booing from the second I got on.
Damn.
To the second I left stage. And I took that shit with a smile. Like running
That's
it.
Hard,
being like, but then here's the greatest thing. They hated me all the way up until the point where they saw me get on drums for Scary Kids. And then as soon as I finished the Scary Kids set, I put down the drumsticks, run from the stage to Mod Sun merch table. And on the way out, everyone's coming up to me. Man, that was so fucking sick to see you do that. Like, to see you go from doing this one other thing that I fucking couldn't stand to going and playing for the band that I came to see and killing it. I got so much respect for you. I'm starting to sell more merch than Scary Kids sometimes.
Wow.
Right? Because I'm also sitting there at the merch table shaking hands with every single person.
In the mix,
And like I grew up in the merch world, so I had ill merch right off the jump, you know? And that was my first tour as Mod Sun.
Super DIY, man. That the crowd,
100%. That was my first tour as Mod Sun ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd the name come from, Mod Sun?
Stands for Movement on Dreams, Stand Under None. And
sick.
I swear to you, this is not to sound like a cliche, but just like being so affluent with the secret and the law of attraction. I literally just one night was like, what is my name? I looked up to the sky and it was like Mod Sun. I was like, what does that mean? It was like Movement on Dreams, Stand Under None. I was like, what does that mean? It was like Modern Sunshine. It all happened within 1 minute and I never looked back. And I never questioned it. And it like is still what I stand for to this day. Like there's nothing that I could want to be known for than movement on dreams. Believe in yourself. Believe in your instinct is your connection to God. And stand under none is like don't let anyone tell you can't do it.
I love it, dude. Super posse, man. Super positive.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Guru, Gifted Unlimited Rhymes Universal.
Yeah.
There's something cool like that, like some really powerful meaning to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn. And what kind of hip hop are you listening to then that you're being inspired by?
So my favorite rapper of all time, probably still to this day, is this cat named Idea and Abilities, who is from Minnesota.
I never heard of him. Okay, it's cool.
He passed away. He was an absolute legend. The legend is really that the movie 8 Mile was originally slated to be about Idea and Abilities. Okay, they were a rap DJ duo, and DJ Abilities would win Scribble Jam every year, and Idea as an MC would go up and win the battle. I can't remember the name of the battle that they would have where old boy that's in 8 Mile eventually would, I think he got second and Idea got first, and they wanted to make the movie about Idea, and he said no. He was such a fucking purist. But
wow.
Anyways,
That's crazy.
anyone out there, like, Idea and Abilities, like, is the greatest MC DJ duo of all time as far as I'm concerned. So like that was my shit. That was Minnesota. They were on Rhymesayers. Rhymesayers was started by Atmosphere. So there was this underground backpack scene in Minnesota that was like this rap that always hit me. And then beyond that, it was always like, I mean, Midnight Marauders would be like a pinpoint of like an album that changed my life.
One of the best, dude.
Yeah.
Tribe was one of the best.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
So you listened to New York stuff too at the time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Wu-Tang, all that stuff.
Oh my God.
Nas, Biggie, Gangstar.
Oh my
Mobb
God.
Deep.
I mean, the first CD I ever bought and memorized front to back was "It's Dark and Hell Is Hot," DMX.
Damn.
So like
another one nobody
like,
talks about. He's incredible lyricist.
Bro. I mean, that album was me being like, oh my God. Like how can someone put together words like this?
Yeah.
You know? And that was at a very young age. So there was always like this, you know, I had an older sister who was cool. Like my older sister was like the popular straight A student cheerleader in town in a suburb that was only jocks and cheerleaders, right? And I was always the weird outcast kid, but my sister was cool, so she would put me onto that shit. Like the Fugees, bro. The score was like bro, Lauryn Hill, and like Lauryn Hill's raps on that album are like a philosopher. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit always touched me. Like that was always something that was like in my heart of being like, this is, as much as, you know, I would listen to 90% pop punk and drive-through bands, and then 10% was like Tribe, Rhymesayers, and Fugees and Wu-Tang, you know?
Yeah. Even Arrested Development back then I thought was incredible for their time too.
100%.
When I started listening to them recently again, it's so many
100%.
Far
Side.
Like,
it was always that kind of like a little bit abstract rap that always got me, you know?
Even Common.
Yeah.
Never gets enough props.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. Early Common was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the backpack rap, I guess Kanye was part of that too later on.
Yeah. 100%.
Digable Planets.
There is early fucking mixtapes that are just like, you know, I mean, I always loved soul samples in like major chords too.
Yeah.
You know?
Digable Planets was another one I thought was incredible back then too. Like,
yeah,
so much good hip hop. So that was
and then like the Dat Piff days changed my life, because then I would find I would download every mixtape on Dat Piff, you know?
Okay.
I would run up. I remember you could download like maybe like 4 mixtapes a day.
That's
I'd wake up.
SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dat Piff was like where everyone dropped their mixtapes, you know, all free music. And that's where I would download fucking 4 mixtapes every single day, put it on my iPod, and go and ride my lowrider bicycle. Shout out Travis Barker. He put me on lowrider bicycles, and I would go ride my lowrider bicycle around this suburb with my headphones on, listening.
Nobody with a lowrider bike out there where you live, probably.
Fuck no. Also, those motherfuckers to ride a lowrider bike for like 5 hours a day, you're tripping. Those bikes are not.
They're not
comfortable and not made to do that. But God, you look so cool.
We were getting a walkthrough of Epitaph, and we were from New York at the time, and in the office there was a bunch of Voodoo Glow Skulls lowrider bikes.
Yep.
And so we never seen those on the East Coast. So we told Brett Gurwitz, oh my God, we love those bikes. It's like, if you want them so bad, put them in your contract. So we put 7 lowrider bikes on our contract. And
you're so ill.
We signed, he shipped them to New York. We had lowrider bikes in New York. It was so cool.
Oh, you're so ill. Lowrider bikes in New York in those days sounds so rad, bro.
In the early 90s and shit.
And it sounds so rad.
Brett Gurwitz, man. Shout out to Brett. It was a man of his word, you know?
Yeah, legend.
Damn.
Real legend.
So you got the EP that came out, the Hippie Hop EP that came out 2010, right?
Yeah, 2010.
And then In Ma We Trust came out, and then Happy as Fuck came out.
Yep.
So are you doing that full time at that point?
Yeah.
All those records touring, just touring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And where are you living at the time? You still at home, or you're on your own?
No, so I had I have this great story. So one of my best friends in the world, He is someone who's lived with like the heaviest case of rheumatoid arthritis like ever seen, right? From the age of like 13 on.
Wow.
And when I was in my band Four Letter Lie, the band Dead to Fall, we both had the same practice space. This was practice space days, man. I don't even know if people fucking have practice spaces
No, they don't
anymore.
have that shit anymore.
And like, you know, so we shared the same practice space. We were all like the weed smoker, fucking stony bands in the scene. And I walked over, and my friend who I was speaking of with rheumatoid arthritis, it was so gnarly that he went blind.
Damn.
But he was a gangster, bro. And he would just have an ounce of weed on him and a volcano. This is volcano days, the smoke out of. And like I walked into a practice space and he heard my voice, and we had this connection. Again, he could not see who I was, nothing.
Yeah.
And years go by, and I had just started doing Mod Sun full time, and I'm out of Four Letter Lie and all this stuff. And I walk in to his house. I get invited to his house not knowing it was him. One of my friends invites me to his house. And I walked in. I'm like, yo, what's up, everybody? And he was like, your voice. He's like, I've been looking for your voice for years. He's like, I knew we'd be best friends.
Wow.
And it's my homie. His name's Mikey Bryant. And from that moment on, he was like, look, dude, he's like, I told it, we had this like whole moment that night where I broke down my whole life. You know, I really want to do this. I'm just getting out of this. He was like, yo, if you decide to go Mod Sun full time, quit drumming, I can tell this is what you want to do. He's like, I'll back you. You can live in my house. I'll help you get a studio. I help it get all set up. And he set me all up, and I started living out of his house and running this whole Mod Sun operation out of his house. We had a whole gang, and just did that, bro. Just did that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just full time, everything, DIY, merch, everything, all yourself.
100%. 100%.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how were those tours, those first couple EPs and records, like touring? Were you starting to build a fan base and stuff?
Yeah, 100%. Like
all around the country?
Because I was friends with all the bands from the scene already.
Yeah.
Like a band called Breathe Carolina took me out on tour. A kid named Johnny Craig took me out on tour. Like these bands would be like, oh, this is kind of cool. There's like a scene kid who's like rapping now. Right?
Yeah.
Like this is different. We haven't seen this. You know what I'm saying? Like a real scene kid. Like I was a scene kid, bro, you know?
Yeah.
And a hardcore kid. And they were like, this is cool. Like, and so I would get to go and open up for these bands that I made friends with, you know? And then
it's crazy. I love a pop punk and hip hop so much, but you were told you couldn't sing, so you started rapping. And we'll get to what happens later, but it's interesting because you're still feeling like you can just rap at that point. You're not trying to sing at all.
Not trying to sing at all.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and not even understanding scale, notes, anything like that, key, nothing. Just straight like writing down these like positive affirmation raps and just focused on that.
Yeah.
You know, and having a message. I mean, that was the biggest thing. It's like I had a message behind the music. Whether you like the music or not, you could hear there was a message behind it.
Yeah.
You know? And that really created a wave, dude. It really created a wave.
Yeah.
Like positive hip hop was not a thing. Kendrick Lamar, I Love Myself was not a record yet.
True.
You didn't hear someone go, I love myself on a rap song.
Yeah.
You know?
The closest thing I got to like positive rap was probably De La Soul and Tribe because they
100%.
were just like the whole swag, just everything, the native tongues movement, all that stuff.
It was. Groups. And that kind of died in the 90s.
Totally.
You know? So then, you know, come fucking 2009, 2010, it feels like it's never been done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true. Just the positive stuff that wasn't,
Yeah.
And so the response was good, building up and all that stuff and touring. And
yeah, I was making my own fan base. I was like, I was finding my fan base, you know?
Yeah.
I went and found them, right? Like, that was the whole thing. Like, I was very savvy at the internet. I was always, like I said, my dad was a hustler, so I knew how to hustle, dude. So, like, I knew how to market. I knew how to do these things. I knew how to be like, I'm building a brand. I have a brand, and I have a message. And, you know, one thing that really like took my whole career to the next level was my first book. Like my first book got bigger than my music.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the book you brought over to today, right?
Yeah.
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 My son had that book as a kid. I remember sending you a picture when he was younger.
It's so crazy.
And what inspired you to drop the book? That was like 2011, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What inspired the book?
It's very simple. Like I thought about what my tombstone would say, you know? And I always said this thing to myself. I was going to put a deadline on my tombstone. It's kind of a pun, but it's real shit. Wow. And it was like, what do I want it to say? And, you know, coming from the world of an athlete, you get to be good at one thing as an athlete.
True.
Right?
Yes.
You get one thing. And I was like, I'm an artist and I can be good at as many things as I want within art. And I was always like, how can I have my tombstone say author? Well, it's the simplest answer in the world. Write a fucking book.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
it.
That's absolutely it.
Yeah.
Anything I've ever done with pure intentions, I've found has been like undeniably successful, and not just like numerically successful, but like successful upon release. It's already success because my intentions behind it were so pure.
Mm-hmm.
And like that book was just me being like, how can I write The Secret from the lens of a young kid?
Yeah.
In this day and age, how can I do that? How can I take these ancient prophecies and turn it into something that a 15-year-old could understand? Right.
Yeah.
And I did that. I think I did it really well. I was very proud of it. I released it. I planned on maybe selling 1,000 copies, you know? And to this day, that book has sold like 200,000 copies.
Wow. Holy shit.
All independent.
All independent.
All self-published.
You can still buy it still to this day. It's online.
All self-published.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude. That's incredible,
Yeah.
man.
I have 6 books out now, and that was my first one.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
You have 6 different books now out?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That when the last one came out?
The last
What
one,
are the titles? What's all the titles for the listeners?
So my first book is called Did I Ever Wake Up? My
Yep.
second book is called My Dear Pink. My third book is called So Long Los Angeles. And then I did a 3-part book series called Happy to Be Here, Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Wow, man. All self-published, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a publishing company that I started myself. We published books for Riff Raff. We did a Riff Raff poetry book.
Wow.
Did a book for Mike Posner.
Shoot.
Done a book for some
He's interesting.
some other influencey type of people, and yeah. Like I really was trying to. Yeah, it's become what I always wanted to do. What I always wanted to see happen has happened, right?
Yeah.
And I obviously couldn't have my finger on the pulse of making it happen because I'm only me, and I only have as big of an influence as I have. But I was like, literature is important, and more than that, intellectual property is important.
Yes.
You know, as a musician right now.
Yeah.
Okay, check it out. You drop a song tomorrow, 99 cents. Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan, 99 cents. Okay? A kid that just recorded a song last night for his first time ever, and let's just say, for the sake of this argument, is fucking awful, 99 cents.
That's a really good point.
We live in a jail defined by 99 fucking cents.
Wow.
And if I'm in a
So
world
true.
where Bob Dylan's song, Like a Rolling Stone, is the same price as the kid who made a song for the first time last night,
Yeah.
and they're defined by the same price, that is not intellectual property.
No.
That is not defining someone's greatness
so true, dude.
by
I
a
never thought about
price.
that. Yeah.
And that's why I love studying painting. That's why I love studying literature, because I can take my book and I can say, my first book, Did I Ever Wake Up? Never wrote a book before. First time author, young kid, $25. I don't care if you say it's worth it or not. That book is $25 fucking dollars. I don't care if anyone says that this book is terrible or that I'm the first time, it should not be that. I am putting my price on it. It is $25.
Yeah.
You know, and I could drop a book tomorrow and only make 100 copies, and I could sell that book for $1,000 if I wanted.
Totally.
Because it is my intellectual property.
Yes.
And like, I get to define that.
Yeah.
And,
it's beautiful.
you know, obviously there's like loopholes in music, and people like Nipsey have tried to really disrupt the system where he did like $100 mixtape and stuff like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, and that's great. But I always wanted to really push the fact that like, there is so much power in these things that live outside of music that can live with your music. You can take a lyric sheet and you can write 10 of them right now, and someone's favorite song is that lyric sheet, and you can sell that lyric sheet for $1,000.
100%.
And there's 10 people out there that'll buy that fucking lyric sheet.
It's true.
And like, that is
I see
important.
people doing it all the time, selling their lyric sheets all the time.
It's so important. It's so
Yeah.
important to feel that, to take the power back, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So when that first book comes out, that kind of blew up for you.
Yeah.
And put your name out there more than just the music you were doing up to that moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
And kind of made me an ageless artist, you know? I have stories from plenty of young kids. Obviously, that was my audience, was like a younger, all ages crowd.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh my God, like you know, this really helped me. And then I would have parents come to shows. You know, I have a specific story where a parent came to a show. It was like, my daughter ordered this book. Her daughter didn't even come to the show. She came to the show to just tell me this. She's like, my daughter ordered this book a couple years ago. It came in the mail. I was like, what the fuck is my daughter doing ordering a book? Like, I've never seen my kid read in her life.
Wow.
I want to read this book. You know, I've specifically made my first book the type of book that you could start and finish before a flight lands. You know, I specifically wanted to make this really digestible. And so she's like, I read through it in an hour. I got to the end of this book and I passed it to my husband, who me and him were about to have a divorce, and it saved our marriage. And
holy shit.
I come from a broken home, and I was like, and she was like, and we've never been better. You know what I'm saying? And
wow.
And I've had stories like that made this like an ageless thing, and
it's cool.
It really turned the name Mod Sun into, again, having like a real message, which made me feel like I was gonna have a legacy and have longevity. You know?
Yeah. Which I think it's actually doing. It's happening for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So were you doing book tours when it came out too, and promoting like that?
Nothing, man.
Damn, just put it out.
Nothing like that. I put it out, and it was just like a word of mouth thing, you know.
Wow, man.
It was like I had obviously my base of supporters that were there, and then this book would get. It was just the greatest thing, like how music was back in the day, where it just got passed on. It got passed on.
Yeah.
You know, this book would really make its rounds, and it ended up like be speaking louder than my music, my name, and anything.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
Were you writing a lot in school? Like, you into that growing up too?
I was always writing in like prose and small stanzas of poetry and stuff like that. I was always obsessed with words, period. So like if I was in art class, my teacher would be like, all right, paint a picture. Like I would draw a word, you know, I wouldn't paint a picture. I would draw a word and design this word. And it was my whole life was word based. I don't know why. And it was just always something that I felt was so holy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. So just from that to Mod Sun, when you switch over to, because I think the Look Up record was your first kind of
debut album.
Yeah, debut album.
Yeah.
That wasn't hip hop,
mm-hmm.
right? Kind of?
No, it was.
It was okay.
It was, but it was my form, you know. I had really taken on a form. Yeah. Which was like you know, I was figuring out for a long time with like, because I have, prior to the 3 EPs you mentioned, I had like 4 mixtapes out. You know what I'm saying? So by the time my first album dropped, I already had released around 1,000 songs.
Fuck,
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy, yeah.
And so I was figuring out my whole defining like what it was, and you know, in that I've always been like I'm obsessed with the times that came before myself. So like I'm obsessed with like the past. I like to drive old cars. I like to wear old clothes. I listen to old records. I read old books. It's always like the things that came before me. And so my first album that came out was really like, what would the Doors sound like if they made a hip hop record in 2015?
Sick.
I was like, how would Jim Morrison do this?
Yeah.
You know, and that was my whole stance going into it. So it's like, it's very musical, you know, there's chord changes and there's beat changes and like there's stuff that's kind of taboo in hip hop. It's like, you keep the fucking beat the same, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like chord change. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you make the chorus by being the chorus, not by the music.
Yeah.
But I was looking at this from like a person who played in bands, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, no, pre-chorus, chorus, bridges, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which gave me an edge, you know, it really gave me an edge. But yeah, so Look Up came out and it was definitely like the definition of like the hippie hop era for me was that.
And did you put that out yourself too?
No, I had just signed a deal with Rostrum Records. That was the first deal I did.
Nice.
Independent label. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That felt good to sign to somebody and have like.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like, I mean, especially in 2015, it was like, it's just always been this thing that was like, I was right. You know, those are what those things do. It's like, you were right for believing in yourself because now you have a big business that believes in you and did that. And Rostrum was the people that signed and blew up Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa, which were 2 huge influences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Wiz, I forgot to mention earlier, but like Wiz was one of them. I mean, bro, Wiz was. Those early Wiz mixtapes were like everything to me. Mac Miller was someone who changed my career completely. You know, he 100% changed my career, co-signed me in ways. Yeah.
He was incredible, man.
Like he wore a Mod Sun. So I have a Mod Sun tie-dye hoodie that I've been selling since 2011.
Wow.
That's like a staple piece of mine.
Yeah.
Mac Miller wore it on the BET Hip Hop Awards Cypher. He wore it.
Wow.
He
On
wore
the
it.
Cypher,
Yeah.
damn.
He wore it. He or one of his friends wore it in every episode of his TV show that he had on MTV2.
I remember that show, yeah.
Kendrick Lamar's wore it.
Wow, dude.
Really, really crazy. And you want to know how I used to do it, bro?
Kendrick Lamar rocked that shit?
Yeah, you want to know how I got Kendrick to wear it?
How?
Because I was a hustler, like I said, bro.
Like your pops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar showed up for a show in Minneapolis. And keep in mind,
That's so sick.
Schoolboy Q, right? Before Schoolboy Q dropped a Schoolboy Q song, he dropped a feature on a Mod Sun song. Okay.
I don't know that
Me
either.
and Schoolboy go back. bro.
Wow, dude.
We go back. We have a
Wow.
song and a video. It's called Tie Dye Everything, which coincidentally
That's
is
sick
the same
name.
initials as TDE. Funny.
Ah.
But Schoolboy Q, he did that shit because I was always the boy with weed, bro. And me and Schoolboy, you want to know how me and Schoolboy got connected? I'm not gonna say the artist that he's on tour with because we don't talk about that person. But I was on tour with 4 Letter Lie. Okay, this cat Gata was Hype Manning.
Gata.
That's
From
my
Little
dog.
Dicky?
Yeah, that's my
He
dog.
was on this pod too.
Okay,
Wow,
okay.
dude.
So Gata was my dog, right? And I was in 4 Letter Lie, and I saw this tour bus across the street, and I was in a van in a parking lot across the street. I go up, knock on the tour bus. I'm like, "Hey, yo, y'all want to smoke?" Gata's like, "Yeah. Me and my boy are gonna come. We'll come smoke with you. We don't know you, but we'll come smoke with you." This was the days where it's hard to get weed, you know. So Gata walks out. We become instant friends, and he's sitting there and he's going, "This is Schoolboy Q. He's gonna be the biggest rapper in the world one day." And me and Schoolboy Q become friends, and me and Gata talked the other day. Like, me and Gata are still close to this day, but that's one of my longest time friends. I'm talking like since 2006. You
That's
know,
incredible, man. I'm stoked for him too. He's killing it, man.
Yeah. And so Schoolboy and me just stayed in contact. I gave him a fucking quarter of a weed for a feature. Okay, but check this out. So fast forward,
Is that a lot of weed? Because I don't know. It's a lot, right? No. For the listeners,
it's
I
like
don't know that shit.
it's 7 grams of weed.
Okay.
You know, it's not a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
Back then, it was
Totally.
it was never a lot. No, not for a rapper. Hell no.
Okay.
It was nothing. What I'm trying to say is it was nothing.
Okay.
For a Schoolboy Q feature. But anyways,
That's so sick.
Kendrick Lamar pulls up to town. So I got so many people wearing tie-dye hoodies. I walk up because I'm like cool with people, and I've played every venue in Minneapolis 100 times. So I walk in with this hoodie. I see Kendrick in the green room. I walk up with this hoodie rolled up. I hand him this hoodie. He's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Look in the pocket." And I'm like, just when I leave, just look in the pocket and walk out the door.
Yeah.
He opens up the pocket, quarter of weed. Okay?
Wow.
He goes,
dude.
"Man, this motherfucker shit." Yeah, I'm going to wear this hoodie. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah, I'm going to wear this hoodie.
That's incredible.
And yeah,
dude.
he did a whole Breakfast Club interview wearing a Mod Sun tie-dye
No
hoodie.
way, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's some sick. You're like a fucking one-man street team, dude. It's incredible.
100%.
But just your passion for it and believing in yourself and just putting yourself out there and meeting people and hustling like that. It's sick, dude.
Yeah,
That's the only way to get things done, man.
100%.
Having managers and all that shit. I've been through a million of those, and it's nice to let go of some things, let people take the reins for a minute. But when it's your baby, like nobody does it better than you do, and they don't get shit done fast enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
100%.
because you have your goal and your vision, you're just fucking going for it.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
So that record comes out. How's that record do? First kind of
It does well. I
Yeah.
mean, it does well. I've never had no like.
a good fan base at that point built up from all the touring and all that.
Yeah. And it was just the buildup of like, we've been following this underground artist, and now he's signed and he's getting looks from MTV and this and that, and it just culminated into something, you know. And that record came out, and
Are you getting video play and radio play too?
no radio play, no.
Okay.
No, but videos and stuff were going well, and it hit Billboard and stuff like
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
And where are you living at that point?
North Hollywood. I moved to LA in 2014, signed my deal at the end of 2014, and dropped that first album in 2015.
Damn, man.
Yep.
So now you're like on your way. This is you're here in LA. You're doing it. You're fucking got the label. And
Yeah. And
Put
I
the
had a
record out.
house that everyone spent time at. Like, everyone spent time at my house. You know, I had like the clubhouse of LA at that point, and I'm talking like people you would never expect were sleeping on my floor at my house. You know what I'm saying? That's where like Black Bear was living there at one point. Kels would be there all the time. The whole ASAP crew was over there all the time. Doja Cat used to record in the back house. Like,
damn.
yeah, no, it was a crazy time.
Crazy
bro.
party house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you wilding?
There was no rules. It was like
Yeah.
my only rule was like if you do something fucked up, that's on you.
Were you wilding back then?
Yeah. Yeah. Total. I mean, yeah, bro. Totally insane. Up for 3 days on drugs.
Really?
Type of wilding. Yeah.
Like coke, like just crazy stuff back
Coke, acid, like mushrooms. The only thing I've never done is I never fucked with pills and needles. You know what I'm
then?
saying?
Yeah.
But everything else was like, fuck it. You know?
It got really worse when you got to LA, or was it building up before then, like traveling?
It got worse, but it's like I was never, well, okay, so like cocaine was just like easier to get here, but like I was never a partier on these things where I went out and like got fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, I was do an 8-ball of coke for 12 hours straight by myself in the studio and make music.
Wow.
And write and be doing 10 things at once, thinking I'm the fucking greatest to ever do it because that's what cocaine makes you do. I'm painting it. I got a typewriter over here and I got the mic set up and I'm just like by myself in like my whole own world.
But working and being creative.
That's that. I've always been I was a very productive, able to live life, functioning addict is what they would call me. You know, I was
you crashed pretty hard off that stuff once you finally crashed, right?
Yeah.
I heard it's gnarly to come down and go with that.
Yeah. I mean, what went on with me was like, I mean, you know, I was funding my lifestyle off of art, and that was kind of made it so I never came down.
Yeah.
You know, I never came down, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was there a rock bottom for you? I know you're 5 years sober now.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Five. I mean, it's almost been exactly five years, but my rock bottom was the moment that I got sober. That was my rock bottom.
Okay.
You know, it took that. I've never relapsed since.
But close to overdosing ever and stuff like that?
Yeah. That's what it was. That's what it was. Like, I went through a gnarly breakup at Coachella in front of a shitload of people with that went completely all into the tabloids and shit. It's kind of like a notable relationship in the media.
Yeah.
And it happened at Coachella, and I had a friend who had property in Joshua Tree, and he had Airstreams on his property, and I was like, yo, I just broke up with my chick, and I had like, you know, a shitload of cocaine, a shitload of alcohol, some other drugs, and in a backpack, and I went out to this Airstream, and I spent 3 days there up by myself doing drugs, getting drunk.
Damn.
And then my friends had to come pick me up from Joshua Tree, bring me back to LA. Came back to LA, spent the next 5 days on a bender with one of my friends, and then went back home to my house after like this like 10-day gnarly bender of doing like every fucking drug except pills and needles, and that was it. Lights out.
Wow, man.
Yeah. And then that moment, I literally picked myself up off my bathroom floor and never fucking did drugs or drank again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cold turkey like that. Yeah. Amazing, man.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
It was hard, but I knew what I was in for. I think I knew what I was in for. I think it was like a giant build up to that time coming. See, now I had whenever I'm talking, I think I'm a good person to relate with addicts because, you know, a lot of people think that when you get sober it means less fun, and like that was always my goal, is to not be that, right?
Yeah.
I knew from the first line of cocaine that I did that it was going to kill me.
Wow.
From the very first line. My dad died from alcohol. It's totally in my DNA.
Wow.
My dad was a fucking rager, bro. I was his dad pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He lived on my couches, right?
Wow.
And I just knew that was going to be what killed me, and I knew that's not what I wanted my legacy to be. So I was walking around with this shame every time I did drugs, right? And blocking my blessings completely. So I made a trade, and I was like, and I think this is okay because this is my story. So like, whether or not in the community of sobriety, it's okay to say things like this. I don't live by those communities. You know what I'm saying? They've helped me a lot, but I don't live by those communities. So when I was like, listen, you know, speaking to God, just being like, I'm going to make the great trade. This is the great trade. I'm going to change my life completely. I'm going to let go of this shame. And I know you've been seeing me want my dreams to come true and going at this for over a decade.
Yeah.
Make this trade with me, you know? And so I believed that was going to happen. And then furthermore, the second I got sober, I started going out 6 days a week to bars, to clubs, to parties.
Wow.
To be surrounded by it.
Yeah.
And
That's
be able to
hardcore,
say
man.
and be able to say no and still have more fun than everyone else, sipping Shirley Temples and Red Bulls.
Love that.
And because I did that, and now that might be really, really hard for people to do. And it was really hard for me as well, but it was so important to my recovery because I didn't have to go internal and shut the world off to do this.
Yeah.
And it made me believe that there was still more fun to be had by not getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And it really, really, I adjusted to that lifestyle so well because of those days of the first 30 days and being like, I went out like every day.
Just face it head on, man. It's kind of crazy. I like that.
Yeah.
And surrounded by it.
And, you know, I understand, like, you know, they say in the community, like, relapse is a part of recovery and all that. And I would have no reason to think that it's not true. But for me, it was just like, I think because of the way I did it, it was never a problem.
Yeah. And it worked for you. It doesn't work for other people, but it works
Absolutely
for you.
not, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But if I can say anything, it doesn't mean less fun, you know?
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
I've lived my whole life never trying anything, and I've had a great life.
Yeah, I know. I can tell.
High on life and shit.
I know.
My
I
son
can really
too's never
tell.
tried anything. It's like, yeah, it's like,
You guys are so cool.
thank you. Just high on life and shit, you know what I mean? But like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you know, your dad had alcoholism and all that too, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So like,
yeah. I was drinking beer at literally age 4. Like, literally drinking
wow.
cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon on a farm.
Holy shit.
Like, there's photos of me drinking, like, full glasses of beer at
Wow,
age 4 years
dude.
old. Yeah.
And when you start smoking weed and cigarettes and stuff?
Weed, 13. Cigs, like, same time. 13.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
You've been smoking your whole life.
Yeah, and the second I started smoking weed, I didn't quit. Like, period.
Yeah.
And now I don't smoke weed anymore. When I first got
Wow.
sober, I was still smoking weed for like 2 years, and then I just like took like a long year off of smoking weed. And people still just there like, you're not sober, you smoke weed. And like
They call it California sober,
yeah,
whatever.
and I've never even like kind of opened up to be like, nah, I really don't smoke weed anymore either. But like,
Yeah.
I've tried it in the last like 2 years, and it's just like it fucks me up now.
Really?
Oh my God. I get the thing that I always laughed at people about when people be like, I smoke weed, I get paranoid. I'm like, you're not doing it right then. Like, I get fucking weird now.
Damn.
So yeah, I just can't even do it. Sometimes I wish I could. I'm like, a little bit of that escape would be nice, but like, I can't even do it. You know?
Yeah. Smoking cigarettes, that's just your thing. Coffee.
Yeah. I smoke cigarettes, drink coffee. And like, obviously cigarettes are not a thing that can last forever. So, you know, there's time is ticking on when I need to put those
Have you
down.
tried quitting those before? I heard it's really hard.
Yeah. And I've done it. I've quit for a year. I've quit for 2 years. I've been able to do it. Obviously, if you say quit for 2 years, I guess you didn't really quit. But but I've been able to stop for 2 years. I've been able to stop. The last time I tried to stop, because when I go on tour, I don't smoke cigarettes, just because being a singer, it's like,
yeah, I can't imagine.
it does not help. You know what I'm saying? I'm belting
Yeah.
notes and then smoking on top of it. It's just like no good. This last tour I went on was really hard. It was much harder than it's ever been, but I was able to do it.
Really?
But it was much harder. I haven't been on tour for a year. I've been smoking cigarettes like pack a day for the last year. So like, it's not helping. It's not.
But you're
helping.
running too. You stay in shape too. You stay healthy.
I do. Yeah, I try to run. I mean, when I go out on a run, I run 3 miles. You know, there's a perfect 3-mile route at my house.
That's cool.
And I try to do it. You know, I would like to say 6 days a week, but sometimes it's 4. You know? But
you stay
like
healthy.
I was out last night at 4 a.m. Like I love to run.
Really?
Yeah.
4 a.m. Bro?
Yeah. I do my whole day. And then it's strange because it puts me to sleep. I know I should do the opposite, but it's like,
Are you waking up at 4? Or are you staying up till 4?
no, I'm up till 4. Yeah, last night I was up
Wow.
until like 6 a.m. Like, but I'll go running
That's
at
why you're
4.
cool about me pushing the pod back.
Oh, yo, you saw how I
like,
kept
this guy's a
saying,
night owl, man.
yo,
You're
you saw how I
fucking
kept saying, yo, even better. You said, well, let's push it to 2:30, even better. Well, how about 3? Even better.
I know. So you're a night owl. Damn.
I'm total insomniac, regardless of any.
You've always been like that?
Yes, I was born at 3:31 a.m. on March 10th, and I think
Holy
because of when I was
crap.
born, I do think that's like my sweet spot in life is like 3:30 a.m. I am like firing off.
And then what time you usually wake up? At least getting 8 hours though?
Well, so like my internal clock wakes me up at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
9 or 10 a.m. every morning. And I pretty much like wake up, think about staying up, and go back to bed until like 11:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get like, I mean, yeah, around like 6 hours, you know, because if I go to bed at 6 and I'm up at like around noon, that's like 6 hours. You know what I'm saying?
So important. Sleep's so important, man. with everything.
I know. And but then some days like once a month I'll probably like stay in bed for an entire day, you know.
That's nice.
Yeah.
A whole day. Wow.
Yeah. Like I just did one of those the other day where I was like, all right, dude, I've been going too hard and I've been directing videos for other bands and then at the same time getting ready to
Producing, all
release
that
new music
stuff. Yeah.
and producing and then in the studio and then creating and getting ready for all this stuff and then also learning guitar lessons all the time and trying to balance out all these things that I'm just like, all right, shut everything off for a day, you know?
You have to do that, man. Reset yourself.
Yeah.
You work out too?
Yeah.
You go to the gym or?
I have a gym in my backyard.
Oh,
I
sick.
had a gym membership last year and I just found like it just
It's hard,
seems,
man, for me, gym.
It's also just like I get so distracted.
Yeah.
I get very distracted in another space, and I also like, bro, I'm a fucking animal, bro. I like to fucking go on a 4 mile or 3 mile run, 3.5, sometimes 4, 3 mile run, come back to my house, sit there again. This is like 4:30 a.m. I like to sit in the backyard, smoke a cigarette, fucking bench press, fucking do abs, fucking
At
do
4 in the morning, 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
And then go to sleep?
Yeah. Then shower,
Holy
go to sleep,
shit, bro.
jump in the pool maybe real quick, and then yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you kind of wind down in a sense, yeah.
It is.
That
It really
lose.
is. I mean, I've always had a backwards lifestyle, but for some reason, it doesn't get me like all fired up. Like it does.
Yeah.
It puts me to sleep. Like I'm exhausted, and I'm just like, cool.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Look Up. You go on tour for that for like 2 years probably, it looks like here, because you don't drop another record to 2017 movie.
Yeah. I was about to completely take my detour off of like hip hop and rap at that moment because I started this band with this kid named Black Bear.
Yeah, I know. Heard him through Travis, I think, seeing producer.
Yeah. So me and Black Bear
Where's he
started
from? Where's
this.
that kid from?
He's from Florida. He's a Florida boy.
Okay.
He's rad. You'd really like him.
That's cool.
And he also loves H2O.
Shit.
He was a scene kid too. Like
Awesome.
And we started this band. It was called Hotel Motel, tragically ahead of its time and super. This is where I learned to sing. Was on this Hotel Motel record.
Okay.
I learned to sing, and I was about to just move into my next 10 years of singing at that moment. And I had this talk with my like spiritual mentor / entertainment lawyer.
Nice.
And he was like, man, just do one more go super rap on this next one. Just do one more. And I did this album called Movie.
Yeah.
And something that I did really cool with that is kind of did something that has been part of music in the last couple of years. I made an album called Movie and I made a movie called Album. And so I made a film for my album, which those weren't happening yet.
No.
They weren't really turning films into albums yet. And so, that was like my super real rap record with features from like Rich the Kid and Dej Loaf. And I worked with Don Cannon on it and just went like
That's
super
cool.
into the culture into that one. And yeah, it was a cool album.
Yeah, so sing. What inspired you to start singing more, like to go from the rapping to singing? Because
dude,
what gave you that new confidence?
I always wanted to.
I know.
mean, what happened was I was creative directing MGK's album called General Admission.
Yep.
Okay, this is the true story of how it happened. We left LA to go down to Joshua Tree at like 4:30 a.m.
After you work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working out at this time consisted of whiskey and cocaine. So
Okay,
yeah,
shit,
after
no,
that
okay.
workout, and then we're driving down. This was like the start of 2016. We're driving down Joshua Tree, and I'm like helping creative direct this album shoot for him, and the day's going really great. We're getting amazing shots. We're doing all this great stuff. Me and Kels were literally, we're maniacs. We've gone through everything together, but this was our maniac days, bro.
Okay.
So we're on a cocktail of drugs and like definitely like hallucinogens in this cocktail that we're doing, and it's like noon. So we've been working for like 6 hours down in the desert, And I grab his acoustic guitar that's on set for this photo shoot and stuff. And I wander into the desert, bro. And I reach this like dried up river. And in my head, I'm like, this is Desolation Row. Bob Dylan reference. I'm like, this is Desolation Row. And I start playing guitar. And all of a sudden, guitar is clicking for me. It's crazy. Like,
wow.
the 70s they're not lying. Sometimes the right fucking acid or something can all of a sudden open a door that you're like, what the fuck? I think I understand what's going on.
Damn.
And like, I'm fully convinced that a spirit jumped into my body at that moment. Okay?
Wow.
A spirit jumped into my body. And I was able to play guitar. And the day goes by. We come back from Joshua Tree into LA. I'm still at my house in North Hollywood. I lock myself in the back house of this North Hollywood house. And I start playing guitar and singing. And it's working for the first time ever. It's happening. I'm hearing my voice. I wrote this song called All Right. You can listen to it. It's by Hotel Motel. The song's called All Right. It's the first song I ever really sang on. And
that's cool.
It's happening. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just crossed over. And I'm fully convinced that this is like the spirit that jumped in me. That's making me able to do this. And that was it. It clicked that day and for the next month. And then this spirit left my fucking body and I could not play guitar again.
What?
Swear to God, bro. I wrote this whole album on guitar. It's called Hotel Motel. It's so fucking rad, bro. It's so like 80s influence. Like, it's so fucking rad, bro. And people to this day still, like, artists that I admire come up to me that are like newer artists. They're like, bro, that Hotel Motel album like changed my whole shit.
Wow, man.
And like, bro, it's super ahead of its time. And
that's crazy.
But I was left with being able to sing. I finally like unlocked it. I finally stopped believing in the voices from younger me that were telling me I couldn't sing. And I was like, not only can I sing, I have my favorite voice in the whole world.
Wow, man.
And so from that point on, I did this movie record. And I just kept inching closer and closer to being like, I'm entering my singer songwriter, 10 years
chapter. Yeah. And then BB came out 2017.
Yeah, which was like my drug album. That was my drug album. That was you listen to that shit and if you're not on drugs, you're like, this is awful.
Okay.
Like, bro, it's like experimental rap, like weird, bro. I produced the whole thing front to back.
Wow.
I produced the whole thing, wrote the whole thing, locked in a warehouse, dark, no windows.
Damn.
Fucking in a month of just tripping my balls off, bro. And like, yo, if you listen to that album and like you hear it, you're like, this makes no sense. I don't know what's going on. And like that was I had a 3-album deal with Rostrum and I turned that one in. They're like, I don't know where you're going from here, man, but good luck. Good luck.
Take care.
Good luck.
Have you gone back and listened to that record since you're sober?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's tripped the fuck out, bro. There's some good songs on it, but it's trippy, bro. It's trippy. Like, it really is.
Damn.
It's like if Pink Floyd made The Wall without being Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a wall.
That's crazy, man. So The Internet Killed the Rockstar was your first sober record?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That
was a big one too, man.
That was my start of the time period of being a singer. Yeah.
And I remember that was a big record, man. I remember like the build up for that, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the movie, all that stuff.
Everything clicked, man. It was really like a special time. It was like, I want to say like 2020 around there, but it was like all of us were going to war for each other, and it was like me and Kels connected on this like wavelength of being like, we're gonna rebuild a scene that's gone together, and we're gonna do it in this way that's like so genuine and real and not corny and not derivative of bullshit, and just like not no faking it. And like it really, really happened how we saw it happening.
And you did the Downfall high school
film
too,
Downfall's High. Yeah, I wrote and directed that with Cows, which was a album film, you know what I'm saying? Which like I had experience doing that, And we locked ourselves in a house one weekend over in Hollywood Hills. You rented a house, and we just like literally threw like 100 pieces of paper on the floor and wrote this script.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
And how was it writing sober? Like, so now you're singing,
yeah,
and you're sober.
Yeah.
How was that? Was that
Yeah.
a whole different world for you?
Yeah, like I was definitely worried at first about getting sober that like my creativity was gonna be stifled. Is that the word?
Yeah, for sure.
And it turned out that it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It just turned out that like I didn't need anything to be there, right? Like the whole thing before was like getting fucked up. You know, okay, so check it out,
And
bro.
then performing sober too.
Like like Jim Morrison, Charles Bukowski, Basquiat. Like when you have these people as your heroes, you're romanticizing chaos, and you're romanticizing. Like Charles Bukowski was literally like, I don't write unless I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Right. And like that's my favorite writer of all time. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, I don't write unless I'm fucked up. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Basquiat, like tortured genius, right?
Yeah.
Like Van Gogh cutting off his ear, he fucked all us artists up to think that you need to be tortured to be brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Jim Morrison, like all he wanted to do was be known as a poet. He was known as fucking the leather-clad demon fucking child running up Sunset Strip on acid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these were my heroes. So like I thought I needed those things to be in front of the microphone, to be in front of the typewriter, to be in front of the canvas. And it just turned out that like I didn't need those things to be there. And once I'm doing the thing I'm doing, I'm fully submersed in it. Like I'm in my own world.
Yeah.
I didn't need those things to show up. And that was all it was. I thought I needed those things to show up, you know?
Yeah.
And I found very quickly that it didn't. And I found very quickly that I was much better without it, you know?
More focused, more clear.
Yeah.
You remember going on stage for your first show sober too?
Do I remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It was probably the
you were
first
sober,
show I
remember?
remembered. It was probably the first one I do remember, actually,
yeah.
as a matter of fact. Yeah. I mean, I went back to my hometown and played a show. And I was like,
so cool, man.
I think I was 100 days sober when I did it.
Man.
Yeah. And it was amazing, bro. It was
you
amazing.
feel like the world kind of opened up for you more at that point too, when you were sober, and like I feel like all these are some big moments, big time for you. These
my whole career changed, but like I said, I made the big trade.
Yeah.
I told God, I said, I'm going to make the big trade, and like, you know, show me that I'm making the right decision. And I don't, yes, like, are you not supposed to say that like you did it to get something, right? Of course you're not. But guess what? It is okay. It is okay to do that. It is. Is it like, should you be doing stuff for the purity of it and this and that? Sure, certainly. If that's for you. For me, I needed a trade. I needed to trade off, you know?
Yeah.
And like it happened for me. I'm not looking at this as like everything needs to be bigger and better than before. It happened. That moment in my life happened where everything clicked, where my career went from being at this level to a level that exceeded all my expectations.
Wow.
And it all happened within a year of being sober. And like that was my payback for that. And that is okay for me to say. It is not to say that that's how you have to do it, or that if something good doesn't happen from it, that it's not worth it. It's just saying that is my story and that's how it happened.
I mean, it's crazy. Like 21 to 22, all that, just with like the Good Morning also came out.
Yeah.
Same, and Internet Killed the Rock Star, and then the Downfall, and then so much happened. And Remember Me, Just Like This come out on that year too.
Yeah, with Internet Killed the Rock Star, and I signed like the label deal of my dreams. You know, like I had like a number in my head since I was a kid that was like, this would be the dream come true. And I did a publishing deal and a record deal at the same time with a label, and got this thing. And just for everyone out there too, like you know, if you make that big amount of money, like you don't wake up the next day feeling any different.
Yeah.
You don't.
It seems to be the case. Yeah.
You don't feel any different. Like that 1 minute you might celebrate the fact that you're looking into your fucking bank account and you're like, holy shit. And then it's right back to the exact same way you feel. You do not become a different person. You know?
Yeah, money doesn't change. Yeah.
No, but it's worth it to chase it so you can know that yourself, because it's never going to be easy for someone who has attained what you want to be like, it doesn't do anything for you. You chase it. Go get it. But understand, like, it doesn't actually change you at all.
Yeah. What about stress levels of having your bills paid, I guess, and having some money to pay for your rent?
Yeah. It's all brilliant.
Like
it's all brilliant. It's all brilliant, but it doesn't change you.
Yeah, of course.
Right? It doesn't change you. It's worth it to chase success, but to think that the day you become a millionaire, the next day you will feel like a different person, you don't.
Yeah.
Or I didn't. And the stories that I
It's
hear
reality, man.
from other people, like it really didn't,
Yeah. Damn. So the internet killed the rock star. You toured on that for. Did you go on tour for that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My very successful headline tour again. Like it was.
Was that like your biggest headlining tour?
It wasn't my last one. The one that you came to, that would have been my.
This is the first one, kind of since.
Yeah. So like that one was like my going back to all the venues that I've been playing since I was in punk bands,
That's
bro.
Cool, man.
Going back to the 600 cap venues, but having them all sell out within 24 hours of going on sale.
So beautiful.
And it was like right at the end of the pandemic, so it was like, there was like that real urge for everyone to be back at shows, and so like this shit sold out. I mean, it was just one of those times in my life where, I've always had these big expectations, and oftentimes I have to fight to get there. And this one was just like, it just got handed to me.
But it's all like the hard work and all your grind and your hustle and consistency and creativity, and you never stop, dude. You know what I mean? You stop believing in yourself. So this is just like, it happened organically.
Yeah.
It wasn't forced,
Yeah.
And the timing and everything coming to the pandemic, people was so fucking needed music so badly, man. It was crazy how that wasn't essential during the whole thing. That like, how it's crazy how important music is, and people didn't see that as something important at the time. I don't know.
It is.
Wild.
But honestly too, if you look at anyone's streaming numbers, it'll be hard to beat what the streaming numbers looked like during the pandemic for people. Because
everybody's at home, everybody's listening.
Those numbers defined some of what defined the demise of a lot of artists, because there's a lot of artists out there that are young in this day and age that don't know the 15 passenger van, that don't know the playing for a $10 per diem, that don't know the playing for 5 people, and
in a basement,
you realize staying at your fan's house is completely a lost art.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's a no, it doesn't happen,
No.
And like the kids that don't know this, like getting up on stage and be like, yo, we don't have anywhere to stay tonight. Who can help us out? Like that's where that's where I grew up. I feel like I was kind of from one of the last eras of that. And
that's true.
These kids that had this giant swing of success in the pandemic turned into them chasing that moment. And it can really be the demise of a lot of artists, because that's where their head is set out of what success is. And so if they're not beating that, then they're unsuccessful. And this cursed word fall off is so fucking devastating to people out here. And I just tell everyone, like, to any young artist, I'm just like, study Bob Dylan's career. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
It's all you got to do to feel fulfilled in your artistry, is study the man that was booed off stage when he picked up electric guitar, who was the voice of the generation, booed off stage every day for a year straight, played like a Rolling Stone. They booed him off stage, and he kept playing that song and kept playing, and it is now looked at as one of the greatest songs written of all time.
Wow.
And like, that is someone who was fearless and ahead of his audience. And as soon as they liked him for that, he went and made a country record. They hated him for that. As soon as they liked that, he went and made a gospel record. Then he fucking disappeared for 10 years and came back and made his best record of all time. Just study fucking Bob Dylan.
Wow.
He started in the 80s. He started something called the Never Ending Tour, and he started it in the 80s. He is now in his 80s, and he's still on tour.
It's fucking crazy, man. That sounds super punk rock. It's like, fuck this, I'm doing what I fucking want. Yeah.
He is so punk, bro.
Yeah, he is so punk.
Yeah.
Wow. And so I love to remember me just like this, Doc. It was great. Like your mom and going back to see your family and that. I don't know, just that family you have, and just, I don't know, just seeing you grow up and all the stuff. It's really beautiful documentary. People can find that on YouTube still, right?
Yeah.
That was great, man.
Thank you.
Your mom's a G.
Thank you. My mom is definitely the heartbeat behind like all the reason I am what I am. I got my charisma and a lot of my hustle from my father, but I got all my discipline and all my desire and all my heart and passion from my mom,
Yeah, she
and
must be so proud.
Being raised by 2 women was like one of the things I look at as a superpower. Like my sister and my mom raised me, you know, and like that was always be in touch with some sensitivity and empathy, that was something that was just within me.
Yeah, she's got to be so. They gotta be so proud of you, man.
Yeah, she really is. You
Just
know,
quitting
and I
sports and all
talk
that
to
stuff.
I talk to her every goddamn day. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure she's been to your tours and seen you play. And all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff,
Oh
and
yeah. Bring it out on stage. All that.
I
Yeah.
think she came out for a show too. Maybe I don't even know. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you dropped. Well, the Rich Kids Ruin Everything. That was a single. That was 2022. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that, and then that led into an album called God Save the Teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is such a sick album title, man. Obviously,
Oh,
growing up
thank
in
you,
punk
bro.
rock and
See,
God
you
Save the
understand. Yeah,
I
you
know, man.
understand the references.
I'm surprised nobody ever did that shit before. When I
Bro,
saw that.
God Save the Teen, Internet Killed the Rock Star. They were like a brother and sister album, you know, and they were both like flips on times in history, you know.
Yeah. You also produced some records too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the ones. Yeah, like wrote songs and all that stuff, and crazy, man. And
Yeah.
then you had the Perfectly Imperfect single,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man. God Save the Teen.
Yeah.
And what I really love is the fucking Google Dolls Iris cover, which I thought was so fucking good. I remember they
thank you,
reposted or something. You geeked out. I geeked out. And I saw you geeking out on it, like,
Yeah.
because I love the Google Dolls, man.
I mean,
You used to be a punk rock band too.
They were a CBGB's band,
yeah,
man.
bro.
There's
Yeah.
that great story because they made Iris for the movie City of Angels, right?
Amazing.
And there's it's the great story where they were still living one foot in the world of like, we're a CBGB's like punk band, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they went to make Iris just for this movie, right?
Did not know this.
And the producer was like, let's put strings on it. And Johnny Resnick looked over at Robbie, who's the bass player, and he was like, yo, once we do this, there's no going back.
Damn.
Once we put strings on our song,
So true.
there is no going back. And they just fucking embraced it and wore it. But like, yeah, original punk band, like for real, you know?
Yeah.
Those early albums are like raw and
Some fast songs and
definitely,
stuff,
yeah. But once they did Iris and that thing turned into what it was, they
And
just never
Slide,
went
oh
back.
my
And like,
God, dude.
I mean, those songs are incredible, but you can feel where they came from, what scene they came from in all these huge classic records.
Yeah,
you
that was
know?
a great cover though.
Thank you.
Did they reach out to you after that? Or?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
so cool.
yeah, I definitely think that's one of, you know, the songs from my childhood. Why I did that. The album's called God Save the Teen. I was thinking about what things saved me when I was a teen.
Yeah.
And the song Iris totally did. When you hear the lyric, and I don't want the world to see me because I don't think that they'd understand. When you hear that lyric, it's such a it's such a opposites kind of thing, because it's like someone saying, I don't think the world would understand me, makes the person listening feel understood. And and that's what it did for me. It made me be like, I'm an outcast, but someone out there understands me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fucking... Still, when I hear that song, I get goosebumps, man.
Oh,
Like,
man.
it
When
feels
they
so
go from
emotional.
4 to 6 to a song that lives on the radio that jumps in and out time signatures is fucking wild.
Bro.
And to have a bridge that's literally like 2 minutes long of just
Yeah.
instruments.
I feel like they had so many bangers. It's probably their biggest song, but there's so many other, like Slide.
Yeah.
There's so many off those records.
Oh my
though.
God. Broadway's dark tonight.
Yeah, dude.
A little bit weaker than it used to be.
Dude. Was there a lot on that record too? So that Iris came out in a movie soundtrack, but then it came out on the record, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
It became a monster.
It made
and
them
they were
so
like-
big.
Yeah, it really did. And like he wrote it for a movie. Like it
I know,
wasn't
it's
even
crazy,
and
dude.
so like he was writing it from it's just so funny how when you're, you know, like if you're writing a song with another artist, how you can let go of these things that hold you back as your in your own artistry. And like when I can tell when he's writing a song for a movie, he's stepping outside his own skin.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
And he was able to find something that, you know, I would assume was the magic of the song, which was he was never able to communicate before that song.
So God Save the Teen, that comes out this 2023. And that was a big one. That's the one I saw. That's where I saw it.
Yeah, that's where you saw it. Yeah,
that's your biggest tour, and
that was my biggest tour. That was
biggest
like,
record, probably.
No, Internet Killed the Rockstar trumps it.
Damn.
Yeah, no, Internet Killed the Rockstar is done like 300 million streams.
300 million streams.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And God Save the
Congrats.
Teen hasn't even done like a portion of it. It's a very underrated record. But
Wow.
I went into that record and I did something that I can't believe any label, but except a label run by people who were in punk rock, whatever let me do. I was like, I'm dropping an album with no singles. And they were like, cool, that's punk, let's do it. And like,
damn,
it didn't help the record, you know. But I was like, I'm gonna bring albums back. And funny enough, this year, someone just dropped
Billie
an
Eilish
album
just did it, yeah.
the other day with no singles.
I went to a listening party. It's
And
a great record. Man.
And again, I'm just happy that that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, but that
especially
was,
for
that
her
was,
to do that. That's kind
that
of
was-
hard too. To some drop this shit on fucking
Yeah.
the whole record, man.
Yeah. But
Wow.
that's cool shit. And I definitely was like, someone's got to try to bring the album back, you know. And I just wasn't the right candidate for it. Billie Eilish, you win that one.
Unless
you win.
maybe it could have been timing too.
Of course, yeah. But you know,
Do we mention that producing that or no?
sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean you produced
Yeah.
the album, Love Sex album. That was a big comeback record.
Yeah,
You produced it. You drummed on it. You co-wrote a bunch of songs on it.
yeah.
That was a big comeback for her, man.
Yeah. That was a
DTA
special
too, right?
Yeah,
Was
that was a special time in life,
Travis's
like
label, yeah.
definitely. But yeah, that would be the first album that I've ever co-produced as a project in full. You know, I've done production and songwriting for like one-off stuff. My two biggest cuts that I've done songwriting on are Machine Gun Kelly, Bloody Valentine, and then a K-pop record by
Wow.
TXT. Yeah, which is
A K-pop record?
yeah,
That's
bro.
sick, dude.
It's like 3 times platinum.
Wow, man.
Yeah. I love doing things like that. But that was the first record
Ghost
that I
Riding
did
and shit too,
in full. You know, co-produce, co-write, and it was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you like the writing, the producing, everything.
I love it. I mean, I like.
You play drums on the album record too?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. Except
dude.
for Travis played drums on like I think maybe half the songs.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was.
And that's cool to be on the same record with him, growing up
What
loving
the
him,
fuck?
dude.
Are you kidding me,
that's-
bro?
yeah, just me saying that out loud, I'm like, oh, shit.
Dude, the first check I ever got from my book, like really the first check like that I built up.
You
I
bought his
finally
Cadillac.
I bought his Cadillac. You know, like I was driving it yesterday. You
No
know.
way.
Oh yeah, bro. It just takes me. It'll never be something that doesn't. You know.
What kind of Cadillac is it?
Remind
Like
me.
what year? What is-
1976 Eldorado, the last good year of the Eldorado.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
to be able to go and buy one of Travis Barker's fucking many cars,
Yeah.
but buy a Cadillac, which
Yeah.
is his favorite car too. That's
Yeah,
a
I
dream
mean,
in itself,
he
dude.
was the one that told me Cadillacs are the coolest car in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was
That's
all.
insane, bro. Being a kid in your bedroom watching him on TV,
I had a poster of him on my wall in that car. when
then
I was a
becoming
kid.
friends with him, playing on records and being produced, and then being on drum tracks, and then buying his Cadillac. It's fucking
Yeah, if there's ever a moment that I feel like I'm just being an ungrateful piece of shit, I'm just like, dog, zoom the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
look at how things have
it's
shaped
this
up.
insane journey, bro. This is like
Yeah,
it's
man.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
especially come where you came from too, and your grind too, and just starting how you started as a rapper and everything, all that too. Like
Yeah, it's just it's been what I wanted it to be from the beginning, and it's all led up to what is going to be this next
Next.
chapter for me. You
was
know?
Strangers your last video?
Strangers was my last video
It's a great
and
song,
that
man.
was about 1 year ago.
It's a great song, man.
Thank you so much. I really
Great song.
really
I felt that song.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Yeah.
It's really
So that won't be on anything new coming out.
No,
was just
no,
you
that was a
dropped that.
one-off. That was a one-off, and then after I dropped that, I completely, disappeared. I completely
You
disappeared.
did.
Yeah, I completely disappeared, and I
You
went.
flipped your whole look too.
Yeah, I did. I
know,
did.
I like it.
Yeah, I believe in that thing. Like, well, kind of what we were saying at the top of this
Rebirth.
conversation is like,
Totally.
it's okay to change the way you look, change the way you feel, change the way you dress, change the records you listen to, add new things to your life, take things away. Fucking, if you want to feel like you're in a different time, fucking drive an old
Yeah.
car, wear old clothes, listen to old records. Like,
yeah.
all that stuff is okay. And so, like, yeah, I disappeared for the last year, and in August, or no, September of this year, I
Off the gram, off the grid.
Yeah. Well, in September, I went back home to Minnesota, and right before that, I was like, I think I'm going to take a couple years off music. You know, I was ready to just step back and just paint
Because you've never done that.
and write and direct, and I was ready to just be like, all right, I don't think music's gonna miss me for the next couple of years. You know,
Were you burnt? You got burnt on everything?
I just didn't know what to do next.
Yeah.
And I wasn't excited. I wasn't excited about where I was and what I was going to do. And I was making some songs at the start of the summer, and it just didn't feel exciting. And so I went back to Minnesota, and while I was there, I stayed there for a month, And it just, I was like, you know what, if I am gonna make music, maybe I should still make music, but you know, I just want to make with no expectation, pure intentions, and just like I want to do what I always really wanted to do from the start, which was to do something like that would make Bob Dylan happy. You know, do what my biggest hero. Go into that bag. You know. And I wasn't at no point in my career did I feel like I had enough skill to really do that right. You know, whether it be guitar playing or it be playing harmonica or it would be, you know, just singing with no studio tricks and any of that shit, and like be truly in my skin and able to just pick up a guitar and play a song and write a song, you know?
That's cool.
And I came back in September. I locked in with my friend No Love, who is an incredible producer and savant musically, and I found this rawness in the music I was making that was like, yeah, no, this isn't a top 40 song, you know, but this is a song that like in 40 years could be completely like a timeless special song. And I started going on that journey of making that kind of music, which is very like folk influenced, which is like, you know, I can't say Bob Dylan enough in any interview that I do, because that is the one person who's like guided me and changed my life. But like, you know, folk Bob Dylan, Shelter from the, I'm sorry, Blood on the Tracks Bob Dylan, that album, like those albums like define my whole life. And you know, being able to do things that those songs make me feel, that's all I wanted to do. While going on this journey, it just so happened that like I made songs that will be big, you know. They really will, like by my intentions being like that. Where music is right now with this like Americana revolution happening, like it just does feel timely and correct, you know. And so I'm actually like more excited than ever, because I feel so fulfilled way before any of this music comes out. Way before. I'm like, I'm gonna go home after this and I'm gonna play guitar for 6 hours, you know? And like, it's just something that I've always wanted to be able to do. Is like, that is artistry to me. Is like not needing a studio and a microphone and production to like make a great song, you know?
That's awesome. It's got to be very therapeutic too, to just go back home and just write and just no pressure and just zone out and just write some songs.
Yeah, I pretty much live in like a cabin in the middle of the woods. It's like in Tarzana, but like I'm in the woods. That's in cool. Tarzana. It's like a canyon, but it's like the woods, and my house is like this 70s house that's built like a fucking log cabin. It's like, feels like I'm in a different world.
That's nice. Especially out here too, man.
Yeah.
Get caught up in all the fucking craziness.
Oh, yeah. And
you're sober now. Everything's different.
Yeah, everything's
and
different.
And you're older,
man.
just, you know.
Like, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm excited to hear it. So it's going to be totally different than the last record.
A complete, like, departure, but you know, all my influence is been imprinted onto all the music I make. I mean, even when I was rapping, like, if you know, I would hope you could still find some like hints of Bob Dylan and the Doors and all that in those things. And then, you know, when I was doing these last albums, which were like slated in like a pop punk world, but were really way more alt than they were pop punk, I think. But you know, you could hear all my influences of like the Goo Goo Dolls and you know, all these bands that like really came before me. And so this new stuff is you know, this next song I'm gonna release is co-written by you know, me and Machine Gun Kelly and my friend No Love made this song. And you know, I think it has potential to be like a song that people know me for the rest of my life.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, I really do. We're going to really go all out on it. And then I'm following it up with a song that's like completely raw, just me and a guitar, one take, recorded it in Hawaii with the windows open while it was pouring rain. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
And that's cool to be in a position, in a place in your life where you don't feel like you have to be somebody you're not, or also this, because of the last record you made, or the chapters you just lived, that you have to like please everybody. It's important to please, because artists sometimes feel like they have to like please their audience, but you're in a position where, yeah, you want to please your audience, but also this is you. This is how you feel and how you want to express yourself. You don't have to like have the song that they expect you to have. And if they still rock with you, they still rock with you. And I'm sure they're still going to rock with you because they love you as a musician, artist anyway. But it's nice to be in a position where you can just do that and show another influence.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done that before already, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I've definitely changed musical clothes many times
Yeah.
already, you know, but with this one as well, like, you know, I fulfilled my deal with my last label. I had a 2-album deal with them. And like I said, like there was, you know, pressure I put on myself
Totally.
with having a label that believed in me that much to do what they did for me. That, you know, I kind of went into my last album, God Save the Teen, which I think is a tremendous record, but I don't think it did what everyone wanted it to do because I think my intentions were a little off. And like it's unfortunate to have to say that about one of my children, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like putting too much pressure on an unborn child before they come into the world is not going to lead to good things.
Yeah.
You can't be like rubbing the belly of a pregnant woman being like, now you better be fucking successful when you come out of there, right?
It's true.
That's not going to do any good.
Yeah.
And I was essentially doing that with my last album.
You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I felt the weight of living up to the expectations that these people believed in me.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, and to be honest, when it didn't live up to those expectations, I felt the disappointment from them as well.
Wow.
You know, and so
yeah,
so going into this without any of that headspace connected to it,
yeah,
just
it's
being
nice.
like, upon arrival of this song reaching the world, I'm already successful because I feel so happy that I made it happen.
Yeah.
I feel so pure that I didn't make this song with the thought, oh shit, I gotta stay hot. Stay hot.
Yeah.
You know, I made this song. The next song I'm releasing is gonna be coming out June 7th. Hopefully we can drop this
sure.
episode right after it. Would be awesome.
Got you.
So the song is out. Okay.
Got you,
Mod
brother.
Sun.
Song's out right now, bro.
Mod Sun, Sunshine is out. That's the name of the song, Sunshine.
Awesome.
And like the genesis of this song was like, I was playing it on acoustic guitar, and I wrote this whole really slow ballad about drugs, right? Okay. So this next song, I interpolated "You Are My Sunshine." You are my sunshine, right? And I made this whole ballad about like, don't take my sunshine away, drugs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so check this out. Like I had a gym membership at Equinox, okay? And this was like October.
The one on
let's say,
Beverly?
No, the one on Sunset.
Okay.
And I was up for 2 days. So here's an interesting tidbit for this interview. I have an answer when anyone says, is there anything people that you want to say that people don't know about you? I am an addict, right? Okay. Sometimes I like once or twice a month, I will stay up for 2 days straight, 3 days straight sometimes to get that delusional feeling that reminds me of being on drugs.
Wow.
I will do it purposely, right?
Okay.
And it makes me reminds me of this like disconnected from reality feeling. Okay.
Yeah.
For good or bad, not recommending doing it. It's like something that's like enjoyable to me. Sometimes I have brilliant ideas.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm up for 2 days. By the way, again, totally just caffeinated up, right?
Yeah.
And I go to Equinox and I'm gonna use this steam room as a sweat lodge. Okay.
Totally.
So I go sit in the steam room and I'm in there for like an hour, bro. Like heavy steam room moment. Like 30 minutes in that motherfucker is a lot, you know? I'm in there for an hour and I'm like talking to God. I'm like, give me an idea for a song. Like, give me something. Just hand me a gift. If you got a gift up there, throw it at me. I'm asking for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This voice appears and is like, you are my sunshine. You are Mod Sun. Okay. Modern Sunshine. You have refused to write the Sunshine song this whole time of your career because you thought it was 2 finger on the pulse.
Wow.
Okay. You've never wrote your Sunshine song. People think you have the energy that does fill the room with sunshine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Make the song. You Are My Sunshine. Turn it into a nowadays song. So I'm like, brilliant. Got it. I go and hit up my boy No Love, and I take this brilliant idea given to me, and I go write this slow ballad about drugs. And I fucking come home from the studio, again delusional. I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, finally getting sleep. And I listen back and I'm like, what the fuck did I do that for? Like I had this brilliant idea and I'm writing about, oh, I missed drugs and getting fucked up. And oh, you took my sunshine away. And I'm like, that was the wrong idea. We got to do, this is special. I was given this idea. This is special. I got to do something right with it. So I go to the studio that day, immediately, the next day after we make this. And I go to No Love and I'm like, pitch that up. Pitch it up. So all of a sudden it goes from, you are my sunshine, to my voice sounding like, you are my sunshine. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, take that slowness, speed it up 30 BPM. Okay? Put a fucking lo-fi beat under it that kind of feels a little hip-hop, kind of 90s boom bap a little bit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, whole new song.
Wow.
And I write this like a really good final statement of like kind of a relationship that I went through last year that was like what it felt like to be 1 week away from this thing happening, 3 weeks away from this happening. It shows a passing in time. And I wrote this fucking classic song, man. I wrote this really classic song, and I take it and I go and I play it to my biggest, truest critic in the world, which is Machine Gun Kelly. He's the one person that will tell me, you think that song's great? It's nothing.
Okay.
But this one that you don't think is great is great. Work on that.
Yeah.
You know? And I put it on and I play it for Kels, and I have my head down because I'm ready for him to just be like, this is the corniest shit ever. And he looks at me and goes, I think that might be the biggest song that you'll ever write in your entire life.
Wow.
And he goes, I think if this is right, this is like your billion streamer. Okay. And again, this is someone else's words. This isn't my expectation still to this day. I'm not doing the fucking baby going baby billion stream. He's just like, this is like one of those songs for you. Right. Damn. He's like, but it's not there yet. And this was October. Right? This was October of last year. It's like, it's not there yet. And I'm going to help you. If you want my help, I will help you get it there. And I have workshopped this song from October to the end of March of this year. So October, November, December, January, February, March. Check this out.
Holy
April, May, June. What is that? 9 months. That's a baby.
Wow.
Okay?
That's crazy.
I workshop it for that long.
Damn.
And he helps me get these lyrics perfect to be like, stop saying head like head. Okay? Say it how you talk. He would literally have conversations with me and be like, yo, because Kels and my dad were like best friends.
Wow.
Okay? They were like best friends. My dad was like, Kels was like, your dad was the most rock and roll motherfucker I ever met in my life. And they had this bond that was crazy. And so Kels would be like, he'd call me on FaceTime. Yo, you recutting the song tonight? Yeah. All right. Take your fucking sunglasses off. Put your cigarette down, okay? No cool guy. I want you to picture that you're talking to your fucking dad right now.
Wow.
Okay? Let down the whole fucking anything, okay? Talk to your dad through this song. And if you don't sound like that, don't even send it to me.
Damn.
You know? And
amazing.
I'd be like, okay. Rick Rubin, fucking. No, you really would do that shit to me. And
That's
he'd be
great,
like, and I'd send it to him and he'd be like, you know, I'm nervous as fuck. And he'd be like, yeah, you did it. You sound way better. Some of those lyrics aren't right still. We got to drop this one. And I'm holding on to it so tight. No, that's my favorite part of the song. Mod, drop that fucking lyric. It's not it. Okay? I'm telling you, bro. I know how we want to hear you. I am the world right now. Okay? And like, I know you better than anyone in this world. And I know what you are capable of. And you are better than that. And I want you to be your best on this song.
Damn.
And pushed me, bro, for months and months and months and months and months. Helped me come up with new lyrics. And all the while, my dog No Love, who produced the track, he's and helped write on it too. He's like, you know, someone who's gonna have a huge run this year as a producer. His name as an artist is No Love for the Middle Child. He's fucking incredible. He's up next, and he's been working on this whole record with me. And between these two people, you know, I've got something that I'm like, I listen to it and I'm like, that guy's fucking cool, and he's real and he's honest, and the way that I sound when I talk is the way I sound like on the record. It is not
That's awesome, man.
Covered up, lost in melody. I divorced myself from melody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Stripped raw right down to it. Just you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably really excited to get this shit out. Well, it's out now. The listeners can listen.
Yeah. It's out now.
That's exciting though, man.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And that would be right there the first time that I've ever actually told the story of it. So if you clip any of this shit for the podcast, it should definitely use that part. Yeah.
Before I should cut more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how and why were you banned from Canada for 10 years?
Yeah. Call back. I love it. So like I said, I've been touring.
You have to pee or anything or no?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I mean,
okay.
I do, but I'm good. I've been touring since I was 17 years old, right?
Yeah.
Crossed into Canada many times. I find out the second time that I go into Canada, I don't know how I got through the first time but without no problems, but the second time I go into Canada, they hit the red button on me, bro.
That's
and
scary.
I get pulled out of the whip and fucking thrown in a Lincoln Continental and driven and thrown in a box. Okay?
What year is this?
2009.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Damn. Okay, yeah.
Maybe 2008, 2009. Okay.
Damn.
And they throw me in the back of a box. They throw me in a box and they start questioning me. And soon they realize that I'm not the person they're looking for. The person they're looking for is a person with the same first, middle, and last name as me and same birthday but 10 years older than me, who is an escaped convict who crossed the border and left the country and is a murderer from Canada. Okay?
That's crazy, man.
And they're like, all right, like, you're not who the name popped up as, because as soon as that name registers into their computer, it's boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go along your way. Okay, cool. Go. 4 hours later, after I'm being interrogated and held for 4 hours,
Yeah.
Go, cross back into America, come back a few months later, boom, same thing happens again. Okay? Thrown in a box, question, same exact thing. They have the write-up from the last time, but they're like, every time we got to do this. Cool. Let me go after another 4 hours. Third time it happens, they go, look, dude, this is going to happen to you every single time that you come to Canada, and we don't want to fucking do this every time. Damn. So because you have a weed charge on your record now and a public intoxication, we are banning you for 10 years from Canada. You have a 12-hour permit right now to enter our country. This was on Warped Tour 2013. So I get on stage that day and I'm like, hey, Canada, this is the last time you're going to see me for 10 fucking years.
Holy
I was like,
shit.
I just got banned today from your country.
Oh, my God. It's because, one, they didn't want to deal with going to the same paperwork over again, but also those charges were new for the third time.
Yeah.
You didn't have those charges the first time.
No.
Okay.
And so they had something to be like, to back it up.
Small, yeah.
And so they're like, you're banned for 10 years. And,
holy shit,
and,
dude.
I returned to Canada finally last year on my last tour.
And how was that show? Was it cool?
Yeah, it was great. It was on my birthday, of course.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was on March 10th in Toronto, Canada, man. I played an
And
awesome
when you went to
show.
the border, everything was cool this time?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
oh,
cool.
yeah.
All clean slate?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so Canada, I'm back. And I was doing so great. Like, my early days going to Canada, I was killing it. I would play at this place called the Mod Club, and I'm Mod, obviously. So, like, I would fucking sell that place out, like, early, like, 2012, selling it out. And, like, doing, Canada merch numbers are wildly good, like, because the conversion rate's wild. And,
that's nuts.
Yeah. So I'm finally allowed back in, though.
So they never caught that guy yet, obviously.
No.
Damn.
I have no idea, but is that not fucking wild?
Were you trying to talk to anybody about it once you got the first time? Go back and maybe talk to a lawyer or somebody, say, hey, this happened to me?
Yeah. But it was like $10,000 and we'll submit your paperwork.
Oh yeah.
And these were like broke boy days where I was like, $10,000. Like, that doesn't sound worth it.
Would you think you'd usually get banned for 10 years for those small charges, but since you kept coming up as somebody else, it was just
No. It's not a 10-year charge. And even if you have a DUI, you can pay like $1,200 to get let in the country.
Yeah, that sounds totally extreme.
Yeah, it was
They just
extreme.
want to deal with you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for real.
So now everything's clean. Now you can go back.
Everything's clean. I can go back. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm finally good.
Now I ask you some couple serious, not really serious, but you have any major regrets in your life?
Interesting question. I mean, yeah. I mean, the way the terms in which me and my father went out, that was a major regret. Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my dad when I was 3 years old.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I didn't really have any. That's why I go to therapy now. I had no closure for that.
Yeah.
Couldn't go to the funeral. My mom has 3 boys. We were too young to go to the funeral.
Oh man.
Went to the hospital, never came back. So that's why I go to. You go to therapy? You ever go to therapy?
Yeah, I haven't.
I can see that.
I haven't in a year, but
Yeah.
I have gotten a lot of insight through the sessions that I've gone to.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, writing lyrics and writing books, all that stuff's very therapeutic. What we do is very therapeutic.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just being social, doing this shit, like
Talking,
do it. I mean, you know, like I think I've learned the biggest lesson in the last year and a half was just like communication skills.
Yeah.
And that's bled into like relationships across everything, with my family, with my friends, with people I'm talking to, like any of that. Like I keep communication at like the top of my list of like what I want. I can be good at all these other things, but if I'm not good at that, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, I like going to therapy. I'm starting to get used to it a little bit and just like peeling back these walls and layers of stuff they really never talked about or just dealt with.
Yeah.
Because I think lyrics help me therapeutically to write things and sing about them, but then we sit in a room with somebody you don't know and just start talking. It's just such a different. It's interesting, man.
Oh, it's wildly different.
I know.
It's wildly different.
Scary.
Yeah.
I was one of the questions, you're optimist or pessimist, but you're definitely an optimist.
100%.
You've always been like that. Always PMA, always.
Yeah, and you know, it really took the law of attraction finding me in The Secret. But once I saw that, I was really like, I think what happens with a lot of people that see that, you know what I'm talking about, obviously.
I know, yeah.
So a lot of people when they see The Secret are like, oh my God, that's the way I've been thinking this whole time. Finally, I have someone to believe that I'm thinking that for a reason. They've given me science behind it and how positive thought is more powerful than a negative thought and how you can erase those things and that, you know, it's an unbiased universe. So not only if you say I don't want something, the universe is hearing the something, not the I don't want, right? So if you're focused on I don't want something, that's truly what you're asking for, right?
Yes.
And so it was just about remapping my brain like that. But once I found that out of like, I want to say 18, I really, really, really changed, you know, everything. And, you know, sports definitely didn't help to be an optimist. I think it makes you, you know, for me, I was like extremely competitive. And so when you become competitive against your teammates even, then like you're living in this like wild frustration kind of world. And so like it definitely didn't help grow the optimist in me playing sports, I don't believe.
Yeah.
So
definitely believing in yourself and fucking staying focused and all that, dude.
Yeah.
Because you went through some dark times, you made it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And better than ever. Reborn.
Yeah, for sure. Certainly.
It's something like, it's inspiring, man. I already know what your last real job was. You said that already.
Yeah.
What about social media? Obviously, you're not really on that much. Were you ever heavy on social media? Like answering DMs, answering comments?
Oh, yeah. I still do. Anytime I post something, I go through all my comments and say what up.
And you let a negative comment bother you?
No. I've actually, what I love to do is like, I mean, I picked up a long time ago, critiques are actually more powerful than compliments. So, I mean,
I like that.
You know, like I don't look at it as anything but like room to grow. Like I've learned lessons on how to make music through YouTube comments saying,
really,
you suck, you should do this, you know?
You've listened to those.
Yeah.
Wow. Critiques.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
like,
cool.
Like, am I going to like listen to someone who's like, you're ugly? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, those ones don't get to me. I mean, I've also like, you know, I have a thick skin from, you know, people. I've had relationships with celebrity like people who are in the spotlight, and I'm always looked at as kind of the, why are you with this person? So like I've gained like a really tough skin, being the like, you know, when I was a drug addict dating like a fucking ex-Disney star, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing with this crackhead?
He's the bad boy from across the tracks.
Yeah, you know, like I've got a pretty thick skin to a lot of that.
That's cool.
But yeah, social media is something in my life that I've gone through in phases of being like at the start of it being like, okay, I'm a marketing guru. I'm gonna learn how to use this for that. And then to places where I understand that like I'm in a certain place, self-aware and secure in my own skin, that I know that if I disappear, people will miss me. And then how can I do it and make it all feel like art, like a film? Like, you know, I know there's ways to do things that some people look at as corny and be like, how can I make this feel like art, you know, and make it work for me?
Yeah. I see a lot of people do what you do, like we erase everything and just start a whole new thing for the next chapter. That's like,
it's
cool.
It's
man.
fun to do that. And then at certain
you
points,
actually erase everything you ever post on there, right?
Well, you can do what's called archiving it, so it doesn't go anywhere. It goes into your archive, so you can always bring it back. Because like at the end of my life, I do want all of everything to be on there.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's forever. But it is really it's mystique, man. It brings out like, oh, it's new and exciting, and you know, this is the new me.
Yeah. No, it's cool though. I think it works.
It's fun. I mean, dude, social media should be looked at as like an art project, bro. That's what it should be looked at. It should be looked at like that.
Are you listening to new music? Do you check out new bands? You listen to hip hop?
Sure.
Keep your ear to the streets.
Sure.
Check out new
Always.
artists.
Always. I mean,
you want to produce new artists as well. And
well, I mean, like, I also enjoy Spotify New Music Friday. Like, I think it's great to have a playlist that puts every genre sitting next to each other. You know, is it political? And like, it's like certain things are like, well, yeah, you're not finding underground artists, but like, truly, Spotify does put like underground artists on New Music Friday. Like they hit a few. You know, you got to get down to the bottom of the list. But like, Spotify is ill. I fucking love Spotify, and show me love on this next release. But I do that. I have a thing where like every Thursday night at 9 p.m. when New Music Friday drops, I like skim through the list. You know,
that's cool. Man.
I love listening to new music, and I also love finding an album. I love to listen to an album. Like, have you heard of McGee, this new artist?
No.
MK.GEE. Okay,
I'll check it out.
Maybe some of the best guitar sounds and experimental. Still okay. To make experimental hits is like a fucking craft that like a Bon Iver can do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This guy is doing something that I haven't heard since like Bon Iver. I just said it two different ways. I'll never know if it's Bon Iver or Bon Iver. So anyone, feel free to help me out. This guy McGee is making the closest thing that I've felt to when Bon Iver came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. We also talked about Military Gun before, great bands. Drain. There's just so many bands, man.
Yeah.
Zulu. There's so many great hardcore bands now, punk bands. And
Military Gun's amazing. They're incredible.
Songwriters.
And then
lyrics,
dude, like I said, there's like a whole Americana revolution going on. I mean, like, shout out Zach Bryan and the Noah Kahns of the world. Like, we're making kids want to play guitar again.
Yeah.
It's really happening. It's beautiful.
Even Post Malone, I think, is incredible. Like the way he changes shit.
God,
now
this motherfucker is the nicest person in the world, too. If you're not rooting for him, you're tripping, bro. This guy is like the nicest human being
talented
in existence. So talented, and is so Warhol about his talent. He'll be like, "Oh man, no, I'm no good. I mean, I'm not that good." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Warhol, they'd be like, "Why are you painting a fucking Campbell soup can?" He'd be like, "Because I was bored." Like, just never take the compliment, never own it, you know?
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, how'd you write the times they were changing? Well, I left the window open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love fucking people who don't. Yeah, you're right, I am. You know what I'm saying? Like
you do with the rain coming down.
Yeah.
The window open.
Yeah.
So yeah, Post Malone, seeing him like this whole vibe playing guitar, he's got a country record coming out. Everything. I mean, he's just super fucking talented, man. He changes up too all the time. He changes up.
Yeah.
He's sick, man.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I saw him live last year. It was an incredible show. Just like before he lost all that weight, which he looks incredible now too as well. And still smoking.
Yeah, he
is. His Budweiser on stage, but still killing his voice. Still sounds great.
I know. Sometimes you wonder, how does the Dave Grohls of the world fucking smoke a pack a day and still
smokes.
do that?
Lemmy, Motorhead, all those dudes. Some people.
I know.
Dickie from the Bosstones used to
God, I
want to
be one of them. I want to be one of them, man. I want to be someone who can smoke forever and still sing like a motherfucker.
You're still doing it though, so
yeah.
Well, fuck, man, this has been great. I'm so happy I had you on and we connected and heard your fucking story, and it's really inspiring. You feel like you're in a good place in your life right now?
Yeah. It was a transformational year. I mean, I felt my light very dim at certain parts of the year. I felt very insecure at certain parts of the year. And I think that's just a journey that one goes through inevitably, you know?
Yeah.
I think you have chapters in your life where you feel like that, and, you know, accepting those feelings and then pushing through it and, like, you know, just pushing myself to find new things that I love. That's really what makes me happy in life, you know?
Yeah.
And really focusing on acting out of empathy and keeping this like light around me. Like that like I said when I walked there, like I feel like I have a light back around me.
It's nice, man.
And it seems like all the things that I do in life go way better when I have this feeling of light around me. And when I don't, things just don't line up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's great. You look great, man.
Thank you,
You
brother.
got great skin. We talked
Thank
about
you,
earlier.
brother.
You're
Thank
aging.
you.
And now, don't even look like you're in your 30s, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking 37, my
Oh,
man.
yeah. Okay. You look younger than that, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying do what you love keeps you young. I feel super young. I'm 54. My son's playing with us. Like,
oh, you're
just
young. You got
young
the
at heart,
young
you know what I'm
energy
saying?
for real, man.
But it's because I think it's because we do what we love. We get to express it, and we're really lucky to be like big kids playing music still and traveling and doing all that shit.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
100%. And the people that don't lose that are truly the blessed ones in life, because you don't have to hit a certain age and lose those things.
No, I just see so many of my peers still playing, still killing it, fucking in their 60s.
Yeah.
Do you want to get married and have kids someday?
Yes. Absolutely.
Have a family?
Absolutely. I know
I
I'm
can
gonna
see
be
that.
a fucking awesome dad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
see-
It's like a prophecy that I need to fulfill, that I've always wanted to since I was young.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
It's interesting we don't have a dad.
I'm a super hopeless romantic, and like
I was gonna ask you that.
super hopelessly romantic, but this is I made a pact with one of my friends that I'm like, I gotta be single for a year. I have to.
Yeah, man. So you focus on your shit.
Yeah,
Come back.
I have to.
Come back strong, man. Stay off those dating apps like my son.
Yeah, no, he's going wild. And leave that in. Leave that
We'll
in.
leave that in for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you'd be a great dad, man. It's interesting not growing up with a dad and then not having a dad to talk to about, remember when you taught me this or this and that, but then you just kind of do it. It's a beautiful thing being a parent, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited. I know I know the right situations out there for me somewhere.
Yeah, man.
But right now
romantic.
right now my guitar is my baby.
I respect that, man.
My guitar will be there long after my baby leaves.
As a true artist would say, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people can go to your social media, they can DM you, or that's where the music's gonna come. That's where they're gonna find out about you. You have a website too?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm about to when this comes out, there'll be a great relaunch of everything. I kind of took everything down since the first of this year. I took everything down to
It's all good.
to create.
This guy's finally crashing, bro.
Yeah, you like
it's
that?
too early
no,
for that.
Hell no.
It's only 6 o'clock.
No. So yeah, I have a whole great chapter coming up where I'm really using all the things that I do, and the main vehicle is always music, but directing. I direct a lot of people's music videos.
That's awesome.
And I direct my own music videos, and I write books, and I paint, and like
Do it all,
bringing
dude.
all those things though to this next project has been my biggest goal, which is really cool. Like just small things, is like the single cover for this song Sunshine that's out now is a painting that I did.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
True artist, man. In every way, shape, or form, and express yourself so many ways, man.
Yeah.
It's nice to have all those outlets, not just one thing.
Yeah, it's really the one thing that makes me feel truly fulfilled, is like that is what I am. I am an artist,
Yeah, so
for a
you're-
long time you have like the imposter syndrome, but
Totally.
you have to shake it at some point and really
Embrace
zoom
it.
out and be like, I am a fucking artist.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild,
Absolutely, man. You have to embrace it, man.
Yeah.
Stay humble as well, but still, like this, your shit's good. You're fucking what you're worth, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
man.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for being here, brother. This is awesome.
Nah, thank you, bro.
Now we're about to get in the plunging sauna, bro.
I know. You
That's
said
gonna wake you up, though.
Yeah, exactly. You said if you're down, you was like, bring the shorts, man. We'll do the plunge.
Have
I
you
was
plunged
like,
before?
yeah, I'll do good.
Okay.
Too. How
It's
long
30
how long do you stay in?
It's 38 degrees.
How long do you stay in?
This is quick, 1 to 2 minutes. You do a couple times through the sauna. My sauna's 250, and then the plunge is 38.
All right, well, I'll guarantee one time.
It's the coldest plunge you can get in the planet right now. 38 degrees, this one, the new plunge.
All right.
'Cause people do
I got
50
you on
degrees
one.
usually.
I got you on one. We'll see what happens.
I think you could do it. You're fucking
Oh no, I
survivor,
got
bro.
it. I got it. I don't know if the multiple times is the vibe.
Well, it's nice because then you go back in the hot and the cold. It's just good for your fucking.
Yeah, no, it's
shit.
insane. I got you on one for sure. I got you on
I'm
one.
surprised you
for
don't have
sure.
a sauna or a plunge yet.
Dude, I know. Well, I have a pool that's
I
fucking.
can connect you to people. Yeah.
I got a pool that gives me not a 38-degree feeling, but it gives me that feeling of that. But yeah, definitely connect me, please, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, brother. This is awesome.
No,
man.
thank you. And
So happy you finally
and
did
also like, bro, like obviously like I fucking grew up listening to you, bro. So it's like one
Thank
of
you,
those
man.
things that just knowing that you even fucking know who I am and brought me on here is one of those things that definitely reminds me how blessed I am, man.
No, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, dude.
And you about to go on tour. Let's not forget. You're on tour right now.
Days, yeah.
You're on tour right now when this drops. You're on tour right now. You fucking up Europe. Yep.
Yeah.
We know.
I'm excited, dude.
H2O.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you,
Peace,
Doc.
everybody. Bye. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos, I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swiped the credit card. Don't really tell me much, didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life, One Chance podcast is now with Removery. I have a code. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Over 600,000 removal treatments done. 100 locations. US, Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art peak-away laser technology. Cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to this podcast, we talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out.